Today, for the 96th time, it's Penn State versus Pittsburgh. It's the Home Depot College Football on CBS. They've come from all corners of the state of Pennsylvania to witness firsthand one of the great rivalries in college football. They're here to see legendary coach Joe Paterno continue his chase of Bear Bryant as the winningest coach in Division I history. Joe Pa's opponent today is an interstate rival whose explosive style has energized the Steel City. It's a battle for statewide bragging rights. It's Penn State versus Pittsburgh. Three Rivers Stadium, homecoming day for the Pittsburgh Panthers. And hoping to spoil the day, Joe Paterno and Penn State. And hello, everyone. I'm Craig Bowlerjack, along with my new partner, Dean Blevins, former quarterback down Oklahoma way. Boy, you can feel the electricity in Three Rivers Stadium. You talk about Penn State out of the top 25, lost their first two games, lost 9 defensive starters, Dean, from a year ago. Off-field problems for the quarterback, Rashard Casey. And until last week, really, this offense was punchless.
Well, when you think of the old powerhouse Penn State teams, you think of the teams that would have power running to set up play-action passing. That's not the case now. Look at the first two games here statistically. No running game, thus no passing. Third game, they did come around. Now, this team needs balance to be successful today, but there's some bad news for Penn State. Out 2 starting players. The offensive tackle, the best one maybe in the country, is Kareem McKenzie. He is out with a concussion, and wide receiver Sam Crenshaw is out with a hamstring and a shoulder injury. And those two positions weren't the strongest for Penn State anyway.
Dean, let's talk about Pittsburgh. They're 2-0. You can hear all and feel all the excitement around the Steel City. Nearly beat Penn State the last 2 years, and today you'll see 2 of the best wide receivers in all of college football.
Well, one of the reasons they're great is that they complement one another. The defense doesn't know which one to double up. You can't double them both. And so we're talking about one of them, Lateef Grimm. He's not big, he's not fast, but he is a playmaker. He is a great route runner, and he's a very smart receiver. And that helps out his partner on the other side. He is Antonio Bryant. He is a natural. He does have the size and the speed and the instincts, and he is much improved from a season ago. And a terrific matchup is what we have with the strength of both teams going against one another. Penn State with a great secondary, and Pittsburgh with the outstanding wide receivers.
Penn State head coach Joe Paterno, 51 years at Penn State, 35 years as the head coach, 73 years young. Signed a 5-year extension back in January. He continues to roll right along. On the other side is Walt Harris in his 4th season at Pittsburgh. He recently signed a 6-year extension. His forte, a tremendous teacher of the passing game, which ranks #1 currently in the Big East, 11th ranked in the NCAA. Temperature at game time, 54%. Chance of showers. It's been a rainy Pittsburgh over the past couple of days. You look at this series, it dates back to 1893. Paterno, 23 wins against the Pitt Panthers, the second most of any other team. High above Three Rivers Stadium, the old stadium, Pitt Stadium was taken down. And next year, Dean Blevins, they will play in the North Shore Stadium, and they will share time there with the Pittsburgh Steelers of the National Football League.
Well, Pittsburgh has gone from having poor facilities to just terrific facilities.
Pittsburgh won the toss, chose to defer, and kicking off will be Nick Lutz. And back to receive, Larry Johnson and Kenny Watson. Oh, a high short kick taken at the 20-yard line, and the up man hit, bounces to the 29. So a 9-yard return, and not the way Lotz and Pittsburgh would want to set up the offense for Penn State. Here's Rashard Casey. Last week against Louisiana Tech, busted out for 5 touchdowns. Dean, he tied Tony Sacca's single game record. And so that broke a 2-game drought for the Nittany Lions.
First and 10, Penn State at the road, 29-yard line.
Penn State will line up 3 wide receivers. McCoo and Omar Easy. McCoo the motion man. And right up the middle, Omar Easy. And we set you up defensively for Penn State, or offensively, McCoo and Eddie Drummond. Keep an eye on Eddie Drummond coming back from a knee problem. Tony Stewart the fine tight end. And the offensive line, Caruso, Mitchell, Schmidt, Linda, and Amani Bell.
Eddie Drummond has to have a big day for Penn State. He really has to make up for the loss of Crenshaw. They've dropped some balls early this season anyway.
Watson and Johnson lined up to the far side. Johnson in motion on 2nd down. Caught at 6. And the stadium of Pittsburgh so strong defensively. Knocking helmets out there early, led by Ryan Smith, number 58, along with Gerald Hayes. We set Pittsburgh's defense at Smith, White, Neal, and Knight. Brian Knight 4 sacks last week against Bowling Green. Linebackers of Hayes, Gonzalez, and Brandon Williams.
The best position defensively for the Panthers.
Ferguson, Humphreys, Paco, and Robinson. A young secondary for Walt Harris. Opening drive for Penn State. Started the season with 2 losses to USC in that kickoff classic, 29-5, and was bounced by Toledo, 24-6. They found their game a week ago and scored 67 against Louisiana Tech. Rashard Casey, first pass of the day, first down, and knee went down. Good fall at the 42, call it the 43-yard line. And the catch
Tackled by Robinson.
by Eddie Drummond. Boy, it's got to feel good, Dean, for Drummond, who had the MCL sprain on that first play on the kickoff classic against USC.
A lot of cushion there in the secondary, and Drummond just finds a little slant, a little short post, and he's short. He's not big, but this guy can fly. By far the fastest player for Penn State.
10-yard pickup, first down, Penn State. Casey, 3-step drop on the hot slam. It's Tony Johnson. And right now, Penn State picking apart the secondary of Pitt. Another first down to move the chains to the 42-yard line. William Ferguson made the tackle for Pittsburgh. So a 10-yard pass play from Rashard Casey, and he bounces back with 15 more.
Pittsburgh going with a new scheme this year. They have an 8-man front, and Penn State taking advantage of that. With only 3 in the secondary, they're getting the easy throws. You see here, there's an 8-man forcing unit, safety, and 2 corners.
First down, Penn State, high formation, quick throw to the far sideline. It's a little pitch and catch. It's simple football. Eddie Drummond, interesting story, Dean. He was, as a freshman, recruited as a running back, had a groin injury. And they said, you know what, Coach Paterno said, can you help us at wideout? He's a natural running back, but has found a nice home as a wide receiver.
Well, and he has a partner out there today, Kenny Watson, who's a running back. They have him out at wide receiver as well. Interestingly, Penn State now using the pass to set up the run, unlike years ago that we talked about off the top.
6th play of this drive, opening drive here at Three River Stadium. Casey, handoff. It's McCoo off left tackle, and he'll pick up a couple of yards to the 35-yard line. Eric McCoo coming off a 131-yard, 1-touchdown performance a week ago. How about that? I'd take his 7.7-yard average.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was only the Louisiana Tech game. The first couple, the Nittany Lions, of course, struggling.
Look at Ryan Gonzalez. He plugs up that middle on that Butkus watch list. 3rd down. 3 wide receivers from the eye.
Check off by Casey.
2 seconds on the play clock. Rashard Casey got named. Flags are down. The catch made by Kenny Watson, the senior from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Sean Robinson providing coverage for Pittsburgh, but a flag down.
Robinson, flag on the play.
Offensive interference. We'll get the call from our referee, Bill Lamagnier.
Pass interference. Offense, 15-yard penalty. And 2 goes down.
Well, they check to a one-on-one route here with this defense with a safety back man free. As we roll it, we watch Kenny Watson on top. Remember, he's a running back. This is the exact situation that Penn State wanted, but he's guilty of the push-off, and that is a critical play that goes Pittsburgh's way.
Wipes on a 22-yard gain back at 3rd down at midfield. 3rd and 18. 11 minutes left, opening quarter. Penn State loads up the near side with 3 wideouts. Good protection. Casey stumbles and falls. He'll lose 3 back to the 47-yard line. That will bring up a punting situation, and Gonzalez and Smith and company cave in that front of Penn State, which, as Joe Paterno told us, Dean, last night, he's concerned about his offensive line.
Well, he should be. I think this time, though, it's a coverage sack. He has time there to let go of the ball, but terrific job in the secondary by Pittsburgh.
David Royer back to punt at his own 35-yard line. Tim Stein settles underneath at the 15. Stein wraps the football and out of bounds at the 16. So Penn State scoreless on their first offensive series, a 37-1-yard punt and a 1-yard return. We'll be back.
Harvey. Hey, Ted. That was my last one.
Moving on, guys. He's dry.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
Eat it.
Make it a Bud Light.
The biggest news in motor oil since motor oil.
Let me show you something that really surprised me. Look what happened to the other leading motor oils after a 128-hour test designed to simulate severe driving conditions. But this is newly formulated Pennzoil with Pure Base after the same test. I'm no mechanic, but I know which one I'd rather put in my car. These, I don't even know what I'd do with these.
For protection so strong you can see the difference, get newly formulated Pennzoil with Pure Base.
Someday, at a job interview, they'll ask, do you work well under pressure? Try not to laugh.
It's a long road to the Olympic Games, and Chevy is driving towards the goal during the final days of the Chevrolet U.S. Olympic Countdown. This is your chance to get $1,500 cash back on the 2000 Chevy Malibu with a standard V6 engine, automatic transmission, ABS, and air. These offers won't last. It all ends October 2nd. Hurry to the final days of the Chevrolet U.S. Olympic Countdown at your local Chevy dealer today.
The NFL today examines Buffalo's imposing defense and checks in with the man driving Denver's offense, quarterback Brian Greasy, Sunday on CBS.
First and 10.
In that huddle is John Turman, quarterback of Pittsburgh last week against Bowling Green, 207 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's been in a two-way battle for 2 years with David Priestley, and Turman today gets the start. Play action on first down, fires over the middle, nearly picked off. Hit the back. It looked as of number 21, Shamar Finney. One of the outside linebackers will set the Pittsburgh Panthers offense. It's Barlow and Polite, Antonio Bryant, Lateef Grimm. Keep an eye on both those wideouts. Wilson, the tight end. Brown, Shaw, Reed. McCurley moves from center to right guard today, and Matt Morgan, the right tackle. Second down and 10. Pittsburgh off to a 2-0 start. Barlow, the handoffs, punches his way to the 19-yard line. Tackled by Tikas Pettigrew. Defensively, it's Jones, Adams, Kennedy, and Kirpakis for the Nittany Lions.
Kennedy is a dandy. Really good play.
Linebacker, Sturdivant, Graham, and Finney. In the secondary, Bruce Branch. James Boyd will knock your hat off. Pettigrew and Bauju. You like Baoju?
Baoju. I not only like his name, I like his action out on the field. Number 10 will be in on a lot of plays.
3 wide receivers. Turner in trouble. Play is down. Ball popped out, but the officials right on the scene. They spot it dead at the 12-yard line. Kirpakis from the right end, bringing the heat. And Turman told us yesterday they cannot afford to do this. 3 up and 3 down.
Adams and Kennedy for Kirpakis all getting in. They overpower the offensive line of Pittsburgh, and that has been a problem. Turman does the right thing, not forcing it, not throwing the interception and taking the loss.
Jay Junko, a sophomore who's averaging just over 35 yards a kick, will need a big one here. Rod Perry at midfield for Penn State. Good high hanger and a fair catch taken at the 50, and now a flag comes down. Torrey Cox, you must give the return man ample room to catch the football.
Yeah, it's a 2-yard area. It's really a circle, a 6-foot circle, like a basketball circle.
2-yard radius foul. Interference with the opportunity. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Did he give the return man 2 yards? No, he didn't. Good call.
Scoreless at Three Rivers, and we'll be right back.
He's upside down. This one has to go like that.
Some children imagine that their father is the most powerful man in the world. Wonder where they got that idea. The 300 horsepower Silverado. The truck from Chevrolet.
What's going on? Hey. Wow, this is nice. But I thought Stacy said if you bought new tools, she gets a new dining room set.
Yeah, she did.
So where are the table and chairs?
You're standing on them.
Fine woodworking tools from Rigid. Name proven by pros since 1923. Take our 12-inch compound miter saw, the best choice for deck building, remodeling, and finish work. Rigid. Buy them at the Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning.
Bill Kelly just rewrote his will. To his wife, he'll leave 2 homes and his investment portfolio. He'll leave other assets to his children. All his beneficiaries are here. All except the IRS, who could get 2/3 of everything. See how we earn it. Solomon Smith Barney.
He's played through 5 bypasses, a severed finger, a wild dingo attack. And you thought football players had it tough. Dave Letterman taking one for the team weeknights.
8:47 remaining first quarter. They bought the 12th man from Old Pitt Stadium right over here to Three Rivers. That 12th man is noisy, and they're noisy here. Penn State, good field position at the Pittsburgh 44-yard line. Casey from behind dropped. Brian Knight, who had 4 sacks last week against Bowling Green, continues his onslaught from his defensive end position, number 57, 6'2", 230.
From his left, he gets Ponko coming, a defensive back on a blitz, and from his right, beating his man, is Knight, who is having a terrific season in rushing the passer. And you know, one of the keys for Rashard Casey is going to be pocket presence.
McCoo is lined up to the far side on second down. Little slant, nearly picked, but he was looking for his tight end, Tony Stewart. Right now, let's take a look at our Exxon virtual playbook.
Well, an issue that continues to be a big issue at Penn State is pocket discipline from Casey. The coaches have taught him to stay in the box, Casey. Stay in this box right here. Don't get caught coming backwards like you did against USC and you lose the yardage. Take the play. If it's bad, dump it off. Either take the loss or dump it off. Don't have the interception or the lost yardage.
Now, there's many stories about Paterno using some lime, some chalk, and drawing a circle, saying, Rashard, he's done this with all his quarterbacks. Let's clarify that. You stay in this pocket until I tell you to leave.
Yeah.
Three wide receivers on third down. Rashard Casey setting up the screen. They've set it up nicely. Little dump off to Larry Johnson, and he's knocked down at the 41-yard line. They got some of that yardage back off the sack at the 41. Hit by Ponko and Ryan Smith.
Well, it was a good play call, but you know, when you have an aggressive defense like Pittsburgh, all psyched up for this rivalry game, and early in the ball game, they put a lot of pressure on the quarterback anyway, so it is a good call to go screen, but too long a yardage to pick up.
Royer will kick away for the second time back at his own 45. Stein at the 10. Little high punch kick. And into the end zone, they'll touch it back, and when we come back, Pittsburgh will have it at their own 20-yard line. Their second offensive series, 41-yard kick.
At their own 20-yard line.
It's a long road to the Olympic Games, and Chevy is driving towards the goal during the final days of the Chevrolet U.S. Olympic Countdown. Now is a great time to get the driving experience of the 2000 Chevy Impala. The inventory is limited, so hurry. Don't let the remaining selection of 2000 Impalas pass you by. Hurry to the final days of the Chevrolet U.S. Olympic Countdown at your local Chevy dealer today.
I told you this would work.
Good call, Dave. Excellent venue. Who do you think's getting married anywhere?
Guys, someone's coming. Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing? Are you here with the bride or the groom?
The groom.
Bride.
Nice to meet you.
Guys, I think they're on to us.
Hey, I think they're on to us.
Having one on the house? Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Live draft, injury, and stat reports, your own webpage. Go to cbs.sportsline.com. Fantasy sports for real. And now it's free.
Midway through the first quarter here at Three Rivers, scoreless Penn State and Pitt. One of America's most enduring corporate images, a Goodyear blimp is floating overhead, providing our aerial views for today's game. The Spirit of Goodyear, one of 7 airships in the Goodyear blimp fleet. I got to get a ride on one of those someday.
You deserve it.
Second offensive series. They start at the 20-yard line. Barlow in the backfield along with Bryant and Slade and Lateef Grimm. Truman fumbles the snap, still able to give it to Barlow, and he picks up a couple to the 22-yard line. Dean, what do we look for here early between Penn State and Pitt?
Well, I think that Pittsburgh is looking offensively to try to establish the run first, and they weren't successful in doing that in the first couple of games. So the question here is, can Penn State stop the run better than they did against USC and Toledo? And so far the answer is yes.
You know, Walt Harris has switched around his quarterbacks, and he will not hesitate. Turman is out, and Rod Rutherford, a redshirt freshman, whose expertise is what you did at Oklahoma. He runs the options. Turman will do the handoff to Barlow, and he'll motor his way to the 24-25-yard line. So Rutherford is going to be a disturber today.
Yeah, I think that's a good word for it. And right now he's disturbed because he's headed back to the sideline, but he is going to get some action. He's going to show a change of pace to Penn State. He's going to show option. He's going to get on the corner and not going to be your prototypical drop back passer. That's not his thing. But they will let Turman do that. And by the way, Turman and Priestley have split time, but today they would like to see if John Turman can separate himself.
Chris Wilson in at tight end. Turman pedals back in the pocket. Good patience. Up down. Just pulled down by Lamar Slade, a sophomore from Yorktown, Virginia. And Slade's got the height. As you saw, he climbed the ladder there at 6'4", 205. James Boyd, the hard hitter for Penn State, brought him down.
Well, Turman did what Walt Harris has taught his quarterbacks to do for years. He used the right progression. He went to the first receiver, went to the second receiver, and that guy, Slade, was the third receiver open back on the short side of the field as he was given lots of room by Bao Zhu in coverage.
First and 10 from the 39-yard line. Pittsburgh's first down. They'll hand off to Barlow, who skips his way and then stacked at the 39. Maybe a yard the hard way. Tackled by Gatton, the outside linebacker. Fast moving first quarter game, 5:25 and counting.
You know, Turman told us a couple of days ago, he said, you know, we can't let our defense stay on the field too long. We've got to have some possessions. We don't need to have many 3-and-outs.
Wind picking up just a little bit. Turman, second down. Pocket collapses, taken down. Michael Haynes, number 81. That's going to be his third quarterback sack of the season out of Columbus, New Jersey. Good look at Michael Haynes. 6'3", 255.
Well, Turman didn't have much help up front. I mean, the offensive line has to give him a little bit of time. If you're going to be a drop back passing team, you have to have some protection. That's not even a coverage sack. That's a sack because of poor blocking, man on man up front.
And Dean, Walt Harris made it very clear to us in our meetings a couple of days back, the O-line a concern. They gave up 6 sacks last week against Bowling Green.
Yeah, Bowling Green doesn't need to give you 6 sacks.
4 wide receivers set. Third down and 12. Turman. We got the start again. Good downfield coverage. Hits his man, Tony O'Brien. Try to make the move, and he hit that painted Panther. Lost his footing and down at the 47.
Well, good point. And also, we have had rain here off and on all morning, and the field may be just a tad slick, but I think you're right. It's more the painting. You've got to be aware of where the first down marker is, and I imagine AB knew exactly where it was as Bryant tries to cut upfield. I think had he not slipped, it might have been close. It ends up being 1.5 yards.
Rod Perry will kick. And back to receive.
Don't back up. Don't back up.
Is Rod Perry.
Dead ball, delay a game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Snapping has been an experience, an adventure for both of these clubs. Walt Harris with Kurt Johnson, his snapper, and Penn State has had some troubles as well.
And I got 2 18s on the field. Perry is back to receive. Junko will punt from the 41. He's back inside his 30. Good kick. Really tripped up around the 17. Chased from behind and down. William Ferguson, special teams, hustling down. Well, this fall on CBS, meet the men and women of crime scene investigation. If you're a victim of crime, they're your best hope for justice. William Peterson and Marge Helgenberger star in a sonic crime solving you've never seen before. CSI. It premieres Friday, October 6th, right here on CBS.
Tutu Ferguson, what a great play on that coverage that time. Almost got the ball carrier the first attempted tackle and got back up and still made it.
Drummond and Watson, the 2 wideouts. Coming up on the 3-minute mark of the first quarter, scoreless here between Penn State and Pittsburgh. Big hole up the middle, and Larry Johnson picks up the yardage. Ponko made the tackle.
Well, this time the offensive line of Penn State being successful in the passing game, able to give a little crack to Johnson. And Johnson, although outspoken and in a little doghouse a couple of weeks ago, still a very good back. And I think the key thing here is what you're seeing is Eric McCoo in the game and Johnson at the same time. McCoo out there on the wide out, and Kenny Watson also. So they have 3 tailbacks in the game.
Second down, short. Trying to hit the hot slant, incomplete. The intended receiver was Kenny Watson. You go back to Larry Johnson, who's a tremendous talent. Dean, at 6'2", 216. We talked to Joe Paterno last night, and you know what? He says, yeah, I was criticized. Yeah, people think we run the same offenses. We run the same plays. It's just a case where the young man wants the football.
Yeah. Yeah,
and he's disappointed about starting the season 0-2.
Right. He said maybe he's not going to get it quite as much as he wants, but you can't be mad at a kid for wanting to be a big part of the offense.
McCoo lines up to the near side on 3rd down, and right on the fingertips. Nice catch taken in by Eddie Drummond. And Drummond is pushed back by a host of Pitt Panthers led by Purifoy, and Paco was there.
You know, I think what Fran Ganner, the offensive coordinator at Penn State, has done, he said, you know, we're not getting started. We aren't doing much offensively, so let's get our best players, our big play guys on the field. So they get McCoo and they get Johnson out there. They get Drummond and Kenny Watson at the same time. You have a lot of running backs. Even Drummond was a high school running back. You have big playmakers on the field.
Rashard Casey 5 of 7 in this game for 49 yards. Drummond with 3 catches for 22. In round, little fake. Casey wide open. He can run it if he wants. Tucks at the 40, at the 45, and steps out of bounds around the 48-yard line. Now that's what Rashard Casey can do.
Yeah, Rashard Casey not only was able to get around the corner and lose the defensive pressure over here, but he also was able to give his team a chance to get the long ball. You have a deep out coming right down here, but that's a difficult throw, and by that time you've got to tuck it and run. He almost picks up the 1st down. Good play, good decision by Casey.
Gerald Hayes forced Casey outside. 2nd down and short. Play action. Rashard Casey wide open, in and out. Little bobble right there. Incomplete pass. A pass he should bring down, and Eddie Drummond is a very sure-handed wide receiver.
Josh Mitchell, guard number 75, a nice job of coming around and giving good protection for Rashard Casey. Rashard does his job. I think sometimes when you stress dropping passes so much, it becomes a psychological disadvantage, and they have dropped a ton of passes so far this season.
Yeah, one of the disappointments in those first 2 losses of the season. On the ground.
I don't know if he got that.
Paul Jefferson, ball carrier.
Paul Jefferson, 39, a 3rd-string fullback. Nigel Neal made the tackle. Under 2 minutes left in a scoreless first quarter. There's Joe Paterno. 73 years. You know, he told us, hey, I still like to get out, mix it up with the guys in practice. I'll run and sprint from one spot to the other. He'll lift his dumbbells.
Yeah, what do you say, coils?
Coils.
Talking about curls. He said up in Brooklyn we call it coils. Yeah, he does sit-ups and push-ups every morning.
1st down at midfield. Quick drop, Drummond. Testing that knee early here, and he's wrapped up after a 3-yard gain at the 46. Robinson was the first to meet him. Robinson, a sophomore out of Warren, Ohio.
And Robinson had the pressure on him then because you have a speedster in Drummond, and if you don't make a good technique fundamental tackle out there in the open field, that play goes for long yardage or a touchdown. That time Sean Robinson makes a nice play.
Now Drummond, when he's healthy, now he said he was about 90% after the MCL sprain and that kickoff, the kickoff classic opener. He runs a 4.35 40. He just needs a seam and he's gone. 2nd down, under a minute. Casey again, the quick drop, hits and incomplete. Boy, had a good look, and again Kenny Watson. That ball was a tough catch, but was it catchable?
Oh, absolutely. Now I'm a quarterback. I'm going to say that I like Rashard Casey's decision here. He can let it go in the 3-step right there, but he holds it a little bit longer, lets him clear past the linebacker. It's not perfectly thrown in front of him. Robinson does a nice job, but that's a very catchable ball.
That brings up 3rd down and 6 from the 46-yard line of Pittsburgh.
You blame it on anyone but the quarterback if you can't.
Sounds spoken like a true QB. Drummond, Watson in as the wideouts. McCoo, your tailback on 3rd down. Casey again going with the short drops all afternoon. Watson the catch, flags are down. Another one is tossed. A 1st down for Penn State at the 22 of Pittsburgh, but hold on. Flags down.
I'll tell you what, Kenny Watson was not going to let that one drop. He did a super job of watching that ball all the way in at his numbers, as the penalty will take this one back and go against the Nittany Lions.
We'll get the call here from Bill LaMonnier. This will be the 2nd offensive interference call against Penn State in this game.
Pass interference on the offense. 15-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Dean, talk about offensive interference. It's not a real common call, but they're trying to get separation between defender and receiver.
Yeah, you can't initiate contact to gain an advantage. It's just the opposite of defensive pass interference, and it's a very difficult call to make. Holding is probably the most difficult. Well, no, I think interference is the most difficult. In fact, an umpire told me that this week. Holding is probably second because it happens on every play.
Every play.
Yeah.
I don't care at what level.
That's right.
2 penalties now against Penn State for 30 yards. Drummond, Watson, and Perry, 3 wideouts. Rashard Casey sets up. Good patience. Throws the gun across the middle, incomplete.
Had him open. That one is a big target at 6'5" and 260, but Will Chamberlain couldn't have gotten that one on a trampoline.
Brings up 4th down. Royer again to punt for the 3rd time. His 2 punts averaging 39 yards. His longest boot of 41. And back to receive is Tim Stein at his own 20.
Let's watch the snap. It's not been good. That one is.
Right on the numbers. Royer gets it up. High hanger short. Stein up to 26.
Pitt cannot afford the turnovers they had last week. They had 3 fumbles, and today they've dropped the ball, and they haven't been contact drops.
A 35-yard kick.
You've got to watch it in all the way, and we've seen several players today not watching it in. You can't run before you catch it, and punt returning is difficult because you know you have a man bearing down on you. You've made that decision not to fair catch it, but if you make that decision, you've got to catch the football.
And Mark Ponko, a former walk-on, was hustling down and had his eyes on the pigskin and was able to gather in the fumble.
Dead ball. Illegal substitution. 12 men in the position. On the offense, 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
Well, that's not a good start there. I mean, you got your coming out for the first play of a series, and to have 12 men on the line of scrimmage. You know, there's a new rule this year that most teams will huddle their offensive unit on the side and bring them straight to the line of scrimmage to go, but there's real no advantage in doing that now. I'll get into the details of that later.
4 seconds left on the 1st quarter clock. Scoreless. Turman in the pocket, dumps it over the middle. Pulled down by Lusaka Polite, the fullback, and he brings it up to the 31-yard line. Graham and Jones made the tackle. Well, that ends the 1st quarter with a scoreless Penn State and Pitt battle. We'll return to Three River Stadium right after this message and a word from your local station. The 2nd quarter here in Pittsburgh, Three River Stadium, scoreless between the Nittany Lions and the Panthers.
Then on September 22nd at Quaker Valley High School when they take on Connecticut.
And after that quarter switchover, Rutherford, who had a handoff in that 1st quarter, is back in for Walt Harris.
Watch him get on the corner.
2 wideouts to the far side. Rutherford has not attempted a pass this season. On the road out with the left-hander. Thompson runs, breaks the tackle, lost the football, but he was down, and will mark him down at the 38. Chased down by Jimmy Kennedy. Now that's just another weapon that Walt Harris has in his quarterback arsenal.
Yeah, he does, and not the type of player you would expect in the system, but he does give you the change of pace, and he did get on the corner on his 2nd snap. Very athletic, 6'3", 215, a redshirt freshman. He was the player of the year in this state a couple of years ago, and then they got last year's Dustin Pichotti as the player of the year. They've done pretty well recruiting.
Yeah, they have. Is this confusing to Pitt Panther fans and alum and players, because Walt Harris preaches the pass, and now he goes to an option quarterback? We'll talk more. Turman going up top, back to the pass game, through the hands, incomplete. Good coverage by Penn State, double coverage. Bruce Branch was there, but nearly. Lateef Grimm able to pull it down through traffic. Pettigrew also around the football.
Well, Lateef Grimm will catch most balls like this. It is superbly covered by Branch, but Grimm gets that on a rebound on a little bobble, and he'll come down with that most of the time. And back to your question, I think that the alumni, no matter what the school, no matter what the style of play, they want wins.
Yeah.
And Walt gives them that hope and has done a good job since he's been here.
You just saw Tennessee leading Florida by 3. Barlow out the open field, staggers to the 30. Barlow up in it at the 36-yard line. Kevin Barlow, who was grounded basically last week against Bowling Green, 8 carries, 8 yards. I think he just made up for it right there on that carry. Tackled by Bao Ju.
Barlow is a player just waiting to explode, and this is a great opportunity for him to do that, because this is a play that is really sort of set up. And is it coming back? Looks like it may be coming back.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Celebration after the play. On the offense. 15-yard penalty. Still have first down.
And Dean, you've talked about a couple of rule changes during our seminars in New York. This is another issue that the officials are going to take up. No excessive celebration.
No, they won't let you do that, and that brings back a good portion of this long play. This is a shuttle pass where Barlow is able to get into the open field, make people miss him, show his ability. I mean, here's a guy that the NFL scouts, when they come to Pittsburgh, they tell their people, Kenny Carter, the running backs coach, say, we love this guy. He has the vision, he has the size, he has good speed and power, he has good hands, the whole package, but he hadn't really shown it.
Barlow again, up the middle, nothing. Takes it outside, stumbles again. First down and more to the 31-yard line. Barlow running the show right now. James Boyd rode him down. The free safety. 20-yard pickup. He ran 25 before they brought it back off that penalties, but Kevin Barlow, great read as he was able to cut outside.
Yeah, I mean, Kennedy was right in his face. He showed the lateral quickness and then the ability to get north and south. That's a good combo, especially when you have that size. 235. He's on a roll right now.
Hometown guy, too, out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Played high school football at Peabody High. First down, Pittsburgh at the 31-yard line. Play action. Turman. Good protection in the pocket. Pumps and then drop. Coverage sack. Good coverage by Penn State.
Yeah, really was. I mean, this is a great secondary. Sure, they lost Macklin from a year ago, who was a great cover guy, but this is a very physical and improved overall secondary. And you get plenty of time. If you're Turman, watch him here as he drops back, play action. He just doesn't have anyone open, so he has to hold it. He could have dumped it off to the left, to the back, and probably gotten a little bit right there. That would have been his 4th receiver in progression. He didn't quite get there. You got to have a lot of protection to get to your 4th receiver.
Yeah, you do. Under 13 minutes left in the first half. Little shovel pass. Walt Harris has a bunch of tricks up his sleeve. Boy, hard hitting down there.
Quarterbacks love that because that goes to your passing statistics.
Polite, the ball carrier, Lasaka Polite, freshman. He's a Pittsburgh product as well, out of Woodland Hills High School.
Little left-handed toss, like a little option quarterback. He flips it underhanded, and you know, until Penn State shows that it can defend the shuttle pass, Walt Harris is going to keep calling the play. And Walt Harris, despite not being the offensive coordinator, he is the man who calls the play. J.D. Brookhart, the offensive coordinator.
Polite and Barlow in the backfield. 3rd down and 2. In is Rutherford, the option quarterback, stumbles close to the first down.
Good. He fell forward. It's going to be close for the first down. If he doesn't stumble there, he has a chance to get it in. That's the thing that a guy like Rutherford brings you. It stresses the defense. They're not able, with their personnel adjustments, they can't bring people on and off the field quickly enough to adjust when he goes into the lineup.
Well, Dean, I keep talking about Pittsburgh products in Lasaka Polite, Barlow. Add Ron Rutherford to that list. You mentioned he was the 98 Pennsylvania High School Player of the Year. He played at Perry Traditional Academy.
He has a chance to be a slash type player, and people in this market, this area, as he gains the first, certainly know what the slash did in college. Slash hadn't quite slashed him up at the pro level yet.
Well, Walt Harris said if we can't run him at quarterback, he's got the great hands and the great speed and a great route runner, that we can put him out as a slot or a wideout.
Yeah. Well, he's got the ability to play any of those positions, and I wonder, though, will you ever get comfortable in any role and be a full-time player?
First down, just inches outside the 20-yard line. Barlow, the lone back. Watch out, backside blitz, throws, touchdown, Pittsburgh. Grimm.
There's yellow down.
Flag is down around the 23.
It will come back on Pittsburgh.
Well, the blitz was coming. Turman hung in and was able to get the ball away. I don't know, maybe holding. We'll get the call from Bill LaMonnier.
Ineligible downfield offense. Inside receiver was covered. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That was a terrific job by Turman of staying in the pocket and holding it and holding it and holding it to the last minute when his receiver came open. Good protection, but from his backside, he can feel the pressure at the end, and he throws a strike. I mean, that is perfect. He had to wait that long for that play to develop, and he took the hit and still didn't get the touchdown.
Able to get it between Pettigrew and Branch. Hand off Barlow. Big hole. Weaving, bobbing his way, dragging the legs to the 15-yard line. Well, he was held down last week, and he told us that's fine. The word was, let's stop Kevin Barlow. You stop the Pittsburgh Panthers. Today, he is broken out.
Watch the man in front of 43. It's 32, Lou Polite. Watch the block that Polite gives him right there. That helps when you've got a big man in front of you, a 245-pounder, blowing people up.
That last penalty on Pittsburgh, now at their 5th for 35 yards. Second down 5. Straight ahead. Nothing fancy. Nick Goings in for relief of Barlow, who's getting a breather. Pettigrew made the tackle.
Goings gets the call this week ahead of Torrey Cox. He's more of a north-south runner for Walt Harris. And there you see standing next to the coach, number 11, David Priestley, as he waggles in, sends in the plays to his competitor and friend, John Turman. Big play.
Third down. Just inside the 15-yard line. Turman on the option. On the quick pitch to Goings. Dives down to the 11-yard line. Close to the first down, but I believe he's going to be short. Pettigrew able to force him out. Ortikas Pettigrew, senior out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, very active. They put him at the hero back, the strong safety. He's the guy, Dean, as you know, that just kind of patrols the entire secondary.
He's in on a ton of tackles. He's a guy they had to calm down. He was just really active and sometimes overly so. And you know, his coach was telling us that sometimes he has to tell him that you can't make every play. You may have a great game and not be in on every play.
Nick Lotz.
You may not have any huge plays.
Nick Lotz will attempt the field goal. He's 5 of 5 on the season, 36 yards his longest. They'll place this down around the 19. So a 29-yard chip shot up and good. And Pittsburgh strikes first. Watts puts Pitt on top by 3.
When we modified a new Beetle to race in the Pro Rally Series, there were a few skeptics.
Cute car.
This car is actually very tough. Other than some heavy-duty shocks and a roll cage, it's basically off the showroom floor. We even beat some cars with 200 and 300 horsepower. It ruffled a few feathers.
Cute car.
Thanks.
Talk to your doctor about Zocor. Zocor, be there.
Honey, what are you doing? What?
There's just something about Quiznos. Try our new Black Angus steak sandwich, toasted to perfection. Quiznos, it's that good.
Thanks for coming, John.
Sure.
I got a real problem. The guys won't train. They're addicted to CBSSportsline.com's fantasy football.
People have been addicted to that for years. How can I help?
I'll show them the real game is just as good.
Whoa! CBSSportsline.com fantasy just went free.
Free?
Yeah!
Thanks, John. Free. Been a big help.
Real-time scoring, live draft, injury, and stat reports. Your own webpage. Go to cbs.sportsline.com. Fantasy sports for real. And now it's free.
I love football. I love the strategy, the intricacies, the power.
I like anything that shuts you up for 2 hours.
Sunday, the NFL on CBS.
9:37 left here in the first half. Pittsburgh on top of Penn State 3-0. The Panthers trying to stretch that opening start to 3-0 while the Penn State Nittany Lions stand in at 1-2. And a terrific crowd here at Three Rivers.
You know, this is really a hump game for Pittsburgh because they have gotten closer to Penn State the last few years. Haven't been able to beat them, but they really want to get this one and show them that they are in their league, if not better.
You saw Pittsburgh was on the field for 12 plays. I mean, the one thing they could not afford against Penn State was those 3 and outs, or 6 plays, or fumbles or interceptions here in the first half to try to keep the momentum on their side. Locks the kick from his own 35. Pedaling back, Kenny Watson. He's going to bring it out. Watson at the 5, 10. Watson at the 15. Slides up to the 22-yard line. Boy, dangerous decision.
Well, he wasn't sure if he was in the end zone or not.
CBS Sports coverage of the Home Depot College football will continue after this word from your local station. Well, Nick Lotz has put Pittsburgh on top 3-0. Our Rigid Tools Scholar Athlete of the game is University of Pittsburgh kicker Nick Lotz. Rigid Tools' commitment to the investment of our future is shown today by donating $1,000 to the University of Pittsburgh's General Scholarship Fund. How about that? 3.42 in business finance.
He's been a solid player for Pittsburgh. You know, Pittsburgh has to be happy about a couple of things. I think that they have not been dominated in the trenches, and a lot of people were talking about Penn State's advantage in the trenches, and so far that has been an even match.
Penn State will start this drive on the 22. A little dump out to Drummond and had to go down around the knees. For an update on Purdue Notre Dame, let's go back to New York, and here's Tim Brando.
All right, Craig, how about a walk-on snapper, a walk-on holder, and a 19-year-old kicker? Nick Senna right through the uprights, 23-21, the Irish. And Craig, I want to say hello and welcome to Dean Blevins to CBS.
Well, thank you, my man Tim. Been watching you for a long time and have admired your work, and good to see you recently. It's great to be here. Great rivalry game to kick off the season.
Rashard Casey, the one pump, got a man on the fingertips and dropped. Bryant Johnson on the fingertips. Good coverage by Shante Spencer, the true freshman out of Pittsburgh, Woodland Hills High School. But that, again, is another gray hair on the head of Joe Paterno. A catchable football.
You know what? Shante Spencer's in great position, but that was just a terrific throw from Rashard Casey. And that's why you can't look at statistics and always know how a quarterback performed. That play should have been a 50-yard completion, if not a touchdown, even though it was well defended. 10 players executed for Penn State.
Instead of first down around the 30, it's now 3rd down and 9 from the 23-yard line. Casey again wants to throw, feels pressure, flags around. Casey tucks and runs and steps out of bounds at the 26-yard line. But a flag down at the 21. Ramon Walker able to push him out. Walker served a 2-game suspension for Walt Harris and is back for the first time this season.
It's in the holding area. Ooh. Does go against Pittsburgh. Usually when you see that one thrown right there at that time, it's a holding call. There's the 3 quarterbacks.
Personal foul. Defense with illegal hands to the face. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Nigel Clay on the right side of the defensive line. We'll watch him right there to the face, and he grabs the face mask. And I think that was the call. He grabbed Jordan Caruso's face mask. Caruso getting his start this week. He's been out with some problems that are not fully disclosed, but that was a good call.
Gorman in motion. Handoff. McCoo leaving his way near side and taken down around the 46-yard line, but another flag on the far side of the field. Busy first half for the guys in stripes.
Penn State's offense out of sync. I mean, they just don't have 11 guys executing, and that's what you have to have. Defense plays with emotion, and offense plays with precision. And if you don't have precision and all 11 working, it doesn't happen.
Illegal formation on the offense. 6 men on the line of scrimmage. Clock operator, please reset the game clock to 8:32. 8:32.
Well, Dane, here's our CBS Sportsline stat of the game.
Penn State at their own 36.
And for complete college football coverage, go to cbs.sportsline.com. That brings up 1st and 15. Back on the ground, McCoo spins up to the 39-yard line. A pickup of 3. Purifoy made the tackle, number 9, out of Homestead, Pennsylvania. Well, I like the backers at the middle spot for Pittsburgh. It's Ryan Gonzalez. He's on the Butkus watch list. And Amir Purifoy, only a junior. Great size, 6'2", around 240, and moves very well.
Yeah, he's an in-your-face type of guy. He is really a talented leader out there. That's their best position when they can alternate Gonzalez, 55, and Purifoy.
Now, Casey was 5 of his first 7. He's 2 of his last 6, but don't blame him. He's had drop footballs. McCoo breaks the tackle and stumbles up to the 49-yard line. Brought down by Mark Paco.
This shows some of the patience of McCoo. That's one of his greatest attributes. Watch him let the play develop, and he uses this little pirouette. Reminds me of Earl Monroe. Dating ourselves here, but Earl of Pearl used to do that for the New York Knickerbockers, and McCoo does it there and did it a couple of times last week in the win.
McCoo 4 carries, 17 yards, brings up 30 short. Penn State needing to get to the 49 of Pittsburgh. Casey, handoff, the big fella. First down and more. Saramelli, that's number 36, 5'10", around 230. Check that, 39, was it?
Yeah, they've gone with the Jefferson, as you called a little bit earlier. He's a kid out of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. He's a freshman that is thick, and he does well in short yardage situations.
I'll tell you, running back in the fullback, tailback spot, really not a problem for Penn State. You got McCoo, you got Larry Johnson, Saramelli. Now you got Jefferson, Omar Easy, Ricky Upton. Well, Division I schools would drool to have that problem, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they would.
Casey to the far side. Drummond trying to turn the Jets up to the 39-yard line. Dante Spencer made the tackle. We're going to give you that Sportsline stat of the game here in just a minute, okay?
Okay, very good.
Later.
You know, that time Shante Spencer had to respect the speed of Drummond, and that's what made that play.
And by the way, get online and play Aflac Trivia. Just log on to cbssportsline.com or America Online, keyword CBS Sportsline. Second down from the eye. Casey. McCoo right up the middle. Chopped down at the 33.
Guys up front doing their job. We mentioned Caruso earlier. Monty Bell and Linda gets a start. Watch Linda, number 50, getting a start. Last time I saw him, he was playing tight end for this bunch, so they've had to reshuffle, opening up nice holes, though. And part of that reason is because they've been successful in the passing game to a degree.
McCoo, great speed. Dean at 4.41 in the 40. Now he had 822 yards as a freshman, 739 last year as a sophomore. There was still talk whether or not he was going to be the man at tailback for Penn State. McCoo again up to the 30-yard line.
Well, you mentioned those other guys back there. I mean, you've got Easy, who has to have some reps. You've got Larry Johnson, who's a very good player. You had Kenny Watson back there. Now they've got number 22 out on as a receiver, but they've been loaded there. Now, saying they're loaded is they're loaded with about the same type of talent.
Right.
They don't have a Kurt Warner or some of your superstar backs there, but they have good talent back there and depth.
Watson and Johnson, the two wideouts on second down. Coming up on the 5-minute mark of the first half. Pittsburgh, thanks to a 29-yard field goal by Watts. Casey hit and down at the 37. Well, he just set up, and he was down before he had a chance to put his feet down. Knight and Purifoy team up to make the sack.
Brian Knight loves to get after the quarterback. What a delightful young guy, and watch him beat his man along the front. The defensive end here, and he's someone that, he told us the other day, he said, I just love going after the quarterback. He loves being able to get his hand down now. He sees things so much better in this position than back at linebacker where he previously was.
Now, he said vision was everything.
Yeah.
Loves to put the hand down, and he reads the feet of the tackles to make his moves.
He doesn't mind being outmanned 50 pounds as long as he's a lot quicker.
Well, he didn't get the play off. Nope, flag is down. Casey waited about a second too long, and the play clock ran dry. So another flag.
Well, it's one thing to get the play in late from the sideline.
Dead ball. Delay game. Offense. 5 yards. Still third down.
But it's another thing when you have enough time. Your eyes as a quarterback should go directly to that play clock. And you should know exactly when it is getting down to 2 and 1 so you can get that ball off. That's a mistake by Rashard Casey.
Fourth penalty for Penn State, 40 yards. Pittsburgh has been flagged 6 times in this half for 50. Rashard Casey pedals back. 5-step drop, good protection, but tries to throw as he went down. They're going to call incomplete. One Panther says, hey, how about grounding? But no flags, incomplete. 4th down, Penn State.
Now that's a close grounding call, because even though now in the college game you can throw the ball away and it's not intentional grounding, there is a caveat there. You have to be outside the tackle box, which Rashard Casey is not. He is right in the middle of the pocket. He gets pressure, and he almost looked down before he actually threw the ball.
Tough from that angle, but looked like the knee may have been touching. High punt. Antonio Bryant let the ball go, and a great special teams coverage. Penn State downs it at the 1-yard line. 41-yard kick, and we'll be back.
Want to start a family?
Right now?
I just got supplemental insurance.
What's that?
Aflac. Well, if we get sick, our health insurance won't cover things like lost pay or other expenses. This does.
What's it called? Aflac!
I don't know.
Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete.
Talk to your doctor about Zocor. Zocor, be there.
When we modified a new Beetle to race in the Pro Rally Series, there were a few skeptics.
Cute car.
This car is actually very tough. Other than some heavy-duty shocks and a roll cage, it's basically off the showroom floor. We even beat some cars with 200 and 300 horsepower. It ruffled a few feathers.
Cute car.
Thanks.
To win over this crowd,
Electric stick!
you gotta perform. The Norelco Quadra Action Razor, with slots to cut long hairs and holes that get the short stubble for a quick close shave guaranteed. The Quadra Action Razor. Norelco, put it to the test.
Tim Brando in New York. Coming up on the AXA Halftime Report, Spencer Tillman and I will get you caught up on all the scores and highlights of a big day in college football, including Michael Vick putting up big numbers against Rutgers. Vintage Vick. Now back to your game.
Well, here Pittsburgh leads Penn State by 3. The Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company has dispatched this Ohio-based blimp, Spirit of Goodyear, to provide aerial views of today's game. The Goodyear blimps have been appearing over sporting events since way back 1925, a 75-year tradition that continues today. Boy, average start. Look at this. Pittsburgh has started this half their drives on their own 16-yard line. Penn State, though, on their own 33. This drive starts on their own 1. Going to play it safe, and Lusaka Polite picks up 1 to the 2-yard line. And coming up on the AXA halftime report, join Timmy Brando, Spencer Tillman. They'll take a look at all the scores and highlights of this exciting day in college football. Of course, you're going to check out Florida, Tennessee. That's all coming up on the AXA halftime report.
Well, I said hello to Timmy a while ago and didn't say hello to my man Spencer. Spencer and I go way back. He does a terrific job. It's good to have two guys from the same locale, the general area.
I was waiting for the Sooner connection, huh? Yeah. Clock running, coming up on 3 minutes left in the half. Turman overlooks that Penn State defense. You're going to keep it on the ground. That's Goings, who will bang to the 5. Sturdifin, outside linebacker, 3-year lineman, makes the tackle.
David Priestley, thinking he might be the starter a couple of days ago. Doesn't look like it's Daubers down. He's getting to stay in there. Walt Harris there to his left is sending in the play. But, you know, Priestley is a guy that the first few games they've played one of the players three series and then bring the other one in. They're trying to see if Turman can distance himself and become the guy.
You know, and Walt Harris told us that Priestley basically had the job early, but yet Turman has made more of an advancement in his game. As a little pitch and catch out to Antonio Bryant. Haven't heard much out of Antonio here in the first half. He's knocked down by Boyd, and once again Sturdifin in on that tackle for Penn State.
Well, I think what you get in John Turman is a quarterback with a good arm. He's tough in the pocket. He's solid. He's a guy who runs pretty well, in fact, and he knows that he needs to improve his vision, but he makes those good decisions, and that's the most important thing in Walt Harris's offense. You have no chance if you can't make spontaneous good decisions.
Pittsburgh working themselves out of a hole. Play action, first down, over the middle. The catch is made. Brought down by Polite. Lusaka Polite. And Sturdifin again on the tackle for Penn State. But this young guy out of Woodland Hills High School here in Pittsburgh making an impact for Pittsburgh's offense in the first 2 quarters.
Well, Polite is a catch-all type player for Walt Harris. He can play tailback. He can play football. He can play fullback, and he's a guy who's pretty smart and can do a little bit of everything, run and catch.
17-yard pickup. Turman in the pocket, throws near sideline. Right on the money. Grimm breaks a tackle and pulled down at the 29. Rose Branch basically saved the touchdown. That shows you the breakaway speed that Latif Grimm possesses. Number 83, the senior from Stockton, California.
Grimm will be on the right side of your screen. He has double coverage on him. Has help on the top from a safety coming over, Bruce Branch underneath, but that is 3 consecutive throws from John Turman that have been on the money, all different types of throws. There's the numbers for Grimm. Not a real big player we mentioned off the top, not really fast, but he is a great route runner, and he makes plays, and there's a good example.
Dean, that's right. He has great understanding of what his abilities are, and that's running routes. His first catch of the day. Turman on the rollout, throw nearly intercepted. You put a couple of inches on James Boyd. He's 6 foot. You make him 6'4". He may have that one.
Hey, that's a good decision, though, by Turman. You say almost intercepted, and perhaps so, but I think John Turman knew where he was in the play, knew that he couldn't take that loss, and he was able to find a void area in there and release the ball so he knows he comes up with 2nd and 10.
Well, last week against Bowling Green, Turman had a nice day. 3 touchdowns, 12 of 17 for 207 yards. So far here in this half, Dean Blevins, 8 of 11 for 136.
He's playing well. This is his best series so far. And I think on that last play, he will be graded an A. You know, Walt Harris tells us that he grades everything in practice and every play in a game for his quarterbacks on an A, B, C, D, F scale. And that last play, although incomplete, I think he did as well as he could do.
Now the officials stop play. Turman will work his way back to the sideline. On this drive, he's 3 of 4 for 65 yards.
Clock operator, please reset the game clock to 1:05. The previous play was an incomplete pass.
Well, the officials keeping an eye, doing the job. They add 5 seconds back, so 1:05 left here in the first half of play.
Plenty of time. 3 timeouts for both teams.
Bryant and Grimm, your 2 wideouts to the far side. From the eye, Turman throws over the middle, complete, nearly though, picked off of the deflection, and right there was Tika's Pettigrew.
Well, I think our man Latif, we've been complimenting him all day. I think he short-armed this one. I think he saw out of the corner of his eye that he was about to get banged, and although this ball was high and tipped, I think he short-armed it a little bit. Well defended.
First tip by Ron Graham, the inside backer. There's a timeout with 1:01 left. Pittsburgh up by 3, but they're driving just before half. We'll be back. Back here at Three Rivers, Pittsburgh leading Penn State by 3 with 1:01 remaining. This drive's gone 7 plays, 68 yards, about 2:40 off the clock. Third down for Pittsburgh. Turman takes the snaps, pedals back, stands, down he goes. Boy, coming in on the blitz was Yako Israel. Redshirt freshman, and a big defensive play for Penn State.
Well, Penn State in cover 2, you can't really do anything vertically, but that doesn't matter. That's just a bunch of talk. If you can't have more time than that, you don't have a chance to find a receiver. You just can't get caught in a 3rd and long situation.
Clock runs under 30 seconds as you see Turman and Walt Harris.
So Walt Harris apparently thinking going for this one. Clock continues to run down, so he will perhaps give it a shot in the end zone, which is good thinking here. Penn State has not shown any reason to think that they would be able to take the ball and come up with a play to go the distance is what they have to do.
4th and 18 with 14 seconds remaining. We'll take a break, come right back to Three Rivers. In case Three Rivers Stadium here. Just 14 seconds remaining, and look at the offensive line's waving to the sideline. Guys, what are you going to do? Okay, look at this. Now they're going to make the substitutions, and they're going to come in and try the field goal.
Now the field goal is too long. It's 52 yards. I don't think Lotz has the leg
do the pooch kick,
do it. So they're going to go back to the punt. But
they bring in
the
Junko.
Offensive line will say, "What's happening here?"
Bruce Branch back to receive. Junko kicks it up high, a little high hanger. Takes a bounce at the 10 into the end zone.
That's one of those you could have had a decision to kick a field goal, to punt, or to go for it, but none of them really good options.
Well, tomorrow is championship boxing. Evander Holyfield and John Ruiz, the controversial heavyweight bout for the WBA championship. That's tomorrow.
Penn State electing to run the clock out here and go inside and try to figure out a way to put some points on the board.
7 seconds left, and the clock will tick down. Casey takes a knee. Walt Harris will run off with a 3-0 lead thanks to a 29-yard field goal by Lotz. That ends the first half with a score. Penn State and Pittsburgh. The Panthers lead by 3. We now take you to Tim Brando in New York City. Timmy. Take a look. I'm not kidding. We'll be back in just a minute. The Panthers lead Penn State by 3. Homecoming, by the way. And there is the king and the queen. Nice crown. Craig Bolerjack along with Dean Blevins. Let me put this question to you. Here's a team, Penn State, that exploded for 67 points last week. Pitt comes in averaging 32 points a game. We got a 3-0 game at half. What's up?
Well, I don't think the team that played Penn State last week is a great defensive team. I think that they are struggling offensively. You know, they got no touchdowns the first 2 games, and then they come into this game, nothing in the first half. Pittsburgh's pretty good defensively. And on the other side of that, I think that Penn State's really a nice defensive club. Pitt got going some in the second quarter. I think you'll see them have some more success. Barlow really was the best player of the first half, I think, the running back for Pittsburgh.
Dean, let's break down the first half numbers as Pitt has made their way back onto the football field. Turman did have a nice game. He passed for 136 yards and hit 5 different receivers.
Well, most of the statistics are pretty close, but there's one right here that just jumps out at me. The total yards for Penn State, 96. So if they keep on that pace, once again, Penn State under 200 yards total offense for the game if they keep that pace.
Now Pittsburgh will receive. Penn State had the opening kick. Rod Rutherford, the do-it-all redshirt freshman, quarterback, wide receiver, and kick return man, back inside his own 5-yard line, and we're underway. Good kick. Rutherford 6 yards deep, takes a knee, and Pittsburgh will start this drive of the third quarter at their own 20-yard line. Now Barlow, as you mentioned, had 6 carries for 42 yards. Rutherford came in a couple of times on the option and ran for 11, but Turman was near perfect. 8 of 12, no picks, 136 yards, and really spread the ball around. Polite, Graham, Bryant, Barlow, and Slade all on the receiving end from Turman.
Yeah, I think at halftime you have to be pleased if you're a Pittsburgh fan or you're Walt Harris with the play of your quarterback Turman, particularly they're late in the second quarter, and so they're giving him the shot once again, keeping Priestley on the bench.
Barlow had a couple of big breakaways, turns it outside, chased down and tackled at the 37-yard line, and James Boyd, who likes to put, I guess, the proverbial hammer down as Barlow barks back at him. Boyd makes a tackle, but you know what, there's a lot of nicknames on Boyd, but he says, you know what, make them pay is his claim to fame. He's a justice major, and so he goes along with that and says, I make him pay.
Yeah, well, he does, but he didn't on that play. And avoid Boyd is one of the things that you hear often, but that time Boyd was not in the area code of Barlow on the play, and they found something there in the first half. They went right back to it on the first play.
18-yard pickup. Barlow now 7 carries for 60 yards. R.J. English. Now that's Rutherford making the catch at the 49. Going the wrong way. Makes the big turn at the 45-40. Rutherford at the 30. At the 25-20. Rutherford clears sailing for Pittsburgh. But a flag. A flag is down around the 24-yard line. Against Penn State.
Personal foul. Defense. The touchdown is good. Penalty is enforced. Half the distance to the goal for the PAT.
First collegiate touchdown for Rutherford, a beauty, 62 yards. And now Nick Lotz, who's 7 of 7 in the PAT department, in to try the point after. Oh, they're going for 2. Climbing up. No, taken away in the end zone.
Better get him.
It's Bruce Branch. He's got a wall of blockers, and Branch knocked out at the 44-yard line. Rutherford the touchdown. Turman pumping the fist. 9-0 Pittsburgh over Penn State.
The family has always put in the forefront to protect the quality and the standards set by Adolphus Bush.
The deep sense of pride that my grandfather taught me, that my father continues to teach me.
I think he would be very happy that the generations of his family have practiced what he taught us.
The automotive world is hyped for the V6 Grand Vitara from Suzuki. Open Road says it's eye-popping. Automobile Magazine raves there's more sport in this sport utility. And Road and Track says it's powerful enough to kick sand in the face of every other four-door in its class. The Suzuki V6 Grand Vitara. Come in and see why Motor Trend says it must be on your shopping list. Get 0.9% APR financing on all V6 Grand Vitaras with approved credit at your local Suzuki dealer.
Talk to your doctor about Zocor. Zocor, be there.
Tonight, we had the perfect meal for us. The Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl. You pick any of their special pastas, and you get all the free refills you want, plus all the salad and breadsticks for $7.95. Good thing I was born hungry. The Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
What's going on? Hey. Wow, this is nice. But I thought Stacy said if you bought new tools, she gets a new dining room set.
Yeah, she did.
So where are the table and chairs?
You're standing on them.
Fine woodworking tools from Rigid. Name proven by pros since 1923. Take our 12-inch compound miter saw, the best choice for deck building, remodeling, and finish work. Rigid. Buy them at the Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning.
Until the real killer is caught. Until justice is done. An innocent man must hide in plain sight. The Fugitive premieres CBS Friday, October 6th.
Rod Rutherford right here. Mr. Slash does a little bit of all of it, comes in motion. He'll find a little pocket in between the linebackers and the two deep safeties. And watch when he catches this ball, he knows right to go to the sideline like a picket fence, a wall set up in a punt return. And this guy on this play runs about 100 yards when you add up all the yardage of in motion and cutting back against the grain. Big playmaker.
He covered 62 yards. They went for 2, and it's 9-0 Pittsburgh. Watts with the kick. Underneath at the 2-yard line is Kenny Watson. Watson at the 15-20, and is thrown down to the 26-yard line.
Pitt goes for 2 because sitting on the number at 9, they wanted to get on to 11 because if you do that, you're basically at a 2-touchdown game.
Well, Pittsburgh struck, and they struck quickly. 2 plays. Dean, 80 yards, 45 seconds off the clock, and Turman continues to impress. He's gone now to 6 different receivers.
Great offensive minds come out in the third quarter and have success early offensively.
Rashard Casey, McCool to the 28th. And let's go back to New York City. Here's Tim Brando.
Craig and Dean, you got to love what Cincinnati has done to Wisconsin. This is from 56 yards out. Jason Monterelli sending it to overtime. Cincinnati has the ball. We'll keep you posted.
56 yards.
Wow. Wisconsin, great team this year.
Johnson lined up to the far side along with McCoo to the near side on 2nd down and 8. Casey, 3-step drop on the slant, low ball. That was around, that was below the knee. Aflac trivia question. Dean, here we go. Can you name the 3 active coaches who have been at their respective schools the longest?
Well, I think I could.
Well, you know, we'll give you about a series or so, and we'll come back with the answer.
Well, I had a little head start last night in our production meeting.
Some great names,
I
by
have
the way.
short-term memory. I think I can remember that one. Penn State needs to get something going here. I mean, 9 points doesn't look like much, but sometimes the way they're playing offense, that can just be a huge total.
And Dean, they scored 5 against USC. They scored 6 against Toledo, erupted for 67 last week. But offensively, really, they've been playing between the 30-yard lines. Rashard Casey, little dump out to the tight end. Tony Stewart pulls down his 10th catch of the season to the 44-yard line. William Ferguson made the tackle. (1983), Dean, they started 0-3. They finished up 8-3-1. 90, it was 0-2, 9-3. Here's the question mark. They started 0-2 in the year 2000, and everyone wondered in Happy Valley, how happy will it be?
This is a hump game for both teams. This is huge for Penn State as well as Pittsburgh.
Larry Johnson off the right side, picks up big yards to the 47-yard line of Pittsburgh. Ferguson again, the corner, comes up to make the stop. You look at Larry Johnson, 216-pounder. His dad, by the way, is Penn State's D-line coach. And so when that criticism came on Paterno about the offense being too predictable, a lot of people were like going, wow, you're taking a hit at the coach, but also you're taking a look at your daddy.
Yeah, I think it's one of those comments of youth made out of frustration. Probably meant it, but you don't air it. You talk to your coach or your team about that.
I'm thinking you talk to dad. First down, Penn State, as Johnson gets the handoff. Paco, the former walk-on, makes a stop from the strong safety spot, and there's Larry's dad. No, his brother also wears the Penn State uniform. Tony Johnson,
and we've got a sister playing softball at Penn State, so they've done pretty well in the scholarship department, I would say.
I would say so.
Penn State got its tight end into the game a couple of plays ago. This guy's really good, Tony Stewart.
From the eye, Casey, handoff. Johnson getting his number called and plows to the 36. Tonight on CBS, Survivor has gone back to the island. Now, if you missed any episodes of the summer hit, you're in luck. Here's your chance to catch up on the television phenomenon of the year. Don't miss it. Survivor tonight on CBS. And I got to admit, Dean, I don't know about you, I was hooked on Survivor. I was hooked.
I watched almost every one. I had my money on Rudy.
I did
Wasn't really a Richard man, if you know what I mean.
I hear you.
I was really going the other direction.
Watson and Johnson lined up to the far side again. Johnson gets the call. I'll tell you, he's taken 3-4 Pitt Panthers with him to the 34-yard line. Mike White riding him down. Number 97.
I'll tell you, one of the best players on the field today is this guy, number 25, Ramon Walker, and he was suspended earlier. He hasn't been able to play. He wasn't even able to be on the sideline. He was up in the stands for the first couple of games. But you talk about a hitter. This guy is vicious. In fact, he's rated at his position by one service as the 4th best in the country.
Had his high school number retired. That's how good he was. Johnson again gets the call. Going to be close.
Gonzalez, what a stick.
He pops up first as you look at Ryan Gonzalez. Missed 3 games last year because of a bad knee. He's made a nice recovery and is on one of the Butkus, is on that Butkus watch list. They are fine at middle backer here in Pittsburgh. They got Gonzalez and then Amir Pirafoy. 4th down, about 2 lengths of the football.
Penn State needs to score points on this drive, and that means they have to convert this 4th down. This is a really big play for them. We're on a power set.
Crowd coming alive. Casey barking the signals. Handoff. And they give it to Jefferson, who plows to the 32. So he got a couple of yards. So a 1st down. Ferguson again coming up from the corner to make the stop.
So even without Kareem McKenzie up front, Penn State lines up in a power set and says, Pittsburgh, you know what we're doing. Just try to stop us. And they were unable to do so. So they do keep this one alive.
Johnson stays in along with the fullback, Mike Saramelli. 2 wideouts to the near side on 1st down from the 32. Penn State trails 9-18, and down goes Johnson. Boy, breaking right. Untouched was Brian Knight. Well, he's put together a couple of tremendous weeks. 4 sacks, as I mentioned last week, against Bowling Green. That tied the Big East single game record.
Off the edge, up top, Brian Knight. And he does. He busts through and has no one on him. And this is a guy who came in thinking of having to contain Casey. He's concerned about the boots getting around the corner, but he is an aggressive guy, goes for the ball. There you see his number. Undersized for that position, but as we mentioned earlier, has a quickness advantage on everyone he plays.
Boy, Ryan Smith, Mike White, Neal, Knight, up front doing a nice job for Pittsburgh. Bubble. Boy, tough pop. Beanbags are out. Who's got it? And they are motioning to Pittsburgh. Boy, what a pop on Larry Johnson. Paterno pacing. Down 9. We'll be back.
I'm from AXA Advisors.
C, AXA Advisors. I work with you.
One-on-one.
But I'm not alone.
Thousands of talented people.
Billions in assets.
Back me up.
If I don't know an answer
About estate planning. I do. If I need an expert in asset allocation.
In deferred compensation, I help.
AXA Advisors.
One-on-one.
This great team
Can help you grow.
succeed.
AXA Advisors, building futures.
MSN Project Day 99. It's football season, and Karen is glued to MSN on her Web TV Plus. She bought her dad the new MSN Companion, a really easy way for beginners like him to get online. They check stats on the web and keep in touch with MSN Messenger service.
You blew it!
It seems to bring them closer together.
Only MSN gives you so many ways to enjoy the everyday web.
I think you do.
College football on CBS is sponsored by Exxon, MSN, AXA Advisors, and by Suzuki.
Well, whenever the Goodyear blimp is hovering above a game with its camera focused on an event, you know you're going to get a unique view. Overhead today is the Goodyear blimp Spirit of Goodyear, giving us some nice shots over Three Rivers Stadium. Goings and Polite in the backfield now for Pittsburgh. Turman going for the deep ball over the middle. Antonio Bryant. Bryant at the 30. And pushed out of bounds around the 22, 23-yard line by Pettigrew.
Two big plays by Pittsburgh. One of them is aided by the fumble here by Johnson. You've got to secure that football. Ryan Smith with a good lick. But then on the offensive side of the ball, they come back with Antonio Bryant. And like I mentioned a little bit earlier, Craig, great coaches make great adjustments at halftime, and you usually see it early in the third quarter. That play was open from a halftime adjustment, and so was the other play for the touchdown to Rutherford.
Boy, Bryant last week against Bowling Green, 180 yards, 9 receptions. So far, 3 catches for 70, and that one covered 51 yards. Not much on the ground, past the 20 to the 18-yard line. And you know what also, Dean? Many teams after a turnover will immediately come back on offense and go for the big play.
Well, I think the good coaches do. I think in this millennium, Walt Harris is a guy that's right on track with what the thinking is. And the thinking is it's offensive football. It's the time, it's the era to be aggressive, and that's what he did there, and it paid off.
Well, this Pittsburgh football program has passed the first 2-3 rungs of the ladder. This game today could elevate them about halfway up the ladder that Walt Harris has built for them.
Absolutely.
Turman pedals back, good protection, and takes the sack. Again, great coverage inside that 20-yard line in the red zone by Penn State secondary. Jimmy Kennedy finally broke through to break him down.
Well, they will be sick when they go back and they review the film on this particular play. There is a receiver who will be coming wide open right here, a little post route. And if Turman has the time to hit it, it is a touchdown. Safety falls down on this play. And that's wide open. Unable to capitalize.
Four wide receiver set. You got Bryant and Slade along with Grimm and R.J. English. 3 to the near side on 3rd down 11. Blitz package. Good call. Flag zone. That's a beanbag. And fumble and a Penn State fumble recovery. Jimmy Kennedy able to jump on that loose football. 320-pounder.
Penn State may look back at this as being one of the bigger plays of the game if they come back and win this. Watch the stick. You've got to hold on to the ball if you're Turman. Penn State back in it.
The automotive world is hyped for the V6 Grand Vitara from Suzuki. Open Road says it's eye-popping. Automobile Magazine raves there's more sport in this sport utility. And Road and Track says it's powerful enough to kick sand in the face of every other four-door in its class. The Suzuki V6 Grand Vitara. Come in and see why Motor Trend says it must be on your shopping list. Get 0.9% APR financing on all V6 Grand Vitaras with approved credit at your local Suzuki dealer.
What are you doing? What?
There's just something about Quiznos. Try our new Black Angus steak sandwich, toasted to perfection. Quiznos, it's that good.
Come on, let's go. Look at that, look at it. Come on, you score. All right. That's the kind of play we need.
Talk to your doctor about Zocor. Zocor, be there.
And now a look at this week's Suzuki Heisman Watch Update.
Tim Brando along with Spencer Tillman back in New York. It's hokey Heisman when you're talking about Michael Vick of Virginia Tech.
I tell you what they say, an old saying, if they don't bite when they're puppies, they usually won't bite. Michael Vick has been biting. He's still vicious. And he isn't even full grown yet. Michael Vick is unbelievable.
That is an incredible run, one of many that he had today. And, of course, he got it done in the air as well. En route to a big win, 49-0 over Rutgers. Now, for more information on the Suzuki Heisman Watch, log on to cbs.sportsline.com.
Downtown Pittsburgh, the Panthers lead Penn State 9-0, 7:13 left third quarter. You just saw Michael Vick. Well, Vick is a player, huh? For Vodtech.
He's the most spectacular player in college football today. He doesn't have the numbers that other quarterbacks do, but he wins.
Then you see Three Rivers. Next door is the new stadium, the North Shore Stadium, that will be shared by the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Pittsburgh Panthers. And old Three Rivers is going to be taken down around January, February to make room for parking lots for this new facility right next door.
Hard to imagine where we are and won't be here.
In this direction reverse. Kenny Watson, nicely read by the Pittsburgh defense. Brian Knight led the way. Here's the Aflac trivia question and answer. Can you name the 3 active coaches who have been at their respective schools the longest? Now, we've got the answer. Paterno, Brigham Young's Lavelle Edwards, who just announced his retirement. He's nearly 70, 29 years in Provo. And Bobby Bowden, 25 years at Florida State. 3 men who've done tremendous things for college football.
35 years at one place, and those other 2 guys are about as good as they get. Lavelle's headed out, and Bobby Bowden's headed up.
Casey dumps it over the middle, not much. Johnson makes the catch, but was taken down by Purifoy. For an update on Cincinnati, Wisconsin, back to Tim Brando in New York. Tim?
Craig and Dina wild one at Camp Randall in overtime. Eddie Faulkner, this young man, his first 100-yard rushing game since his freshman year, 97, in for Michael Bennett. All 25 yards in the overtime possession. 28-25, Wisconsin escapes Cincinnati.
You know, sometimes it's an early season game against a lesser school that you have to get that win in a close game to go on to a magical season, and that's what the Badgers hope for.
Drummond and Watson line up near side. Rashard Casey chased down from behind and got him on the shoe tops. Boy, what a game by Knight. Brian Knight all over the football field. He's a former linebacker. You can tell by his number 57 has turned defensive end and just absolutely has made a tremendous adjustment.
Told us, I am going to contain Rashard Casey if it's the last thing that I do, and watch him use his speed, his quickness. Rashard Casey under 4.5. I mean, he's a sprinter, and he doesn't accelerate there, and Knight does.
Antonio Bryant back to receive the kick of Royer, who kicks it sky high. And a fair catch. Bryant did a nice job to run underneath at the 47. We'll come back.
You can do it.
MSN Project, Day 88. To help cure Jackson's hiccups, we used MSN Messenger to make a free long-distance phone call to a friend. He's the hiccup expert.
Drink it. This can't fail. Try the belly buster.
Sometimes experts fail.
I'm gonna try scaring him.
Mikey's like 74. Think about it.
Make free long-distance calls with the new MSN Messenger service. Connect time charges may apply.
In the world we're born into, being smart doesn't necessarily make you a financial success. Neither does being pretty, neither does being talented. There are brilliant failures, and there are successful zeros. Having money isn't a matter of good or bad. Having money is a matter of putting your money in a better place. Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. Move your money. Get well connected.
If you want to know what's up with the beautiful people, read Liz Smith. If you want to know what's up with Liz Smith, watch 60 Minutes Sunday.
of total yards this quarter, Dean Blevins. Pittsburgh has racked up 122 with still 5:12 left. Penn State, 42 yards, third quarter.
Pittsburgh, the two big plays, the key to those numbers.
And off Barlow, straight ahead running. And past midfield to the 48. Well, this fall on CBS, Washington, D.C.'s new police commissioner is handpicking the best crime-fighting team in the nation. Now the people have someone on their side. Emmy winner Craig T. Nelson stars in The District. Premieres Saturday, October 7th, right here on CBS.
Lou Polite was not very polite to Eric Sturdivant, who was blitzing in. A terrific smash and a block by Polite, the fullback.
Second down 4. Now Lusaka Polite again.
I guess they reward him. They say if you're going to do that much damage, you're going to work that hard, we're going to give you a chance to tote the ball. But he is a quality blocker.
Only a freshman out of Woodland Hills High School here in Pittsburgh.
He's sturdy as a fire hydrant. Has the body fat of one, too.
Well, they've also, I'd say they're loaded at fullback. You got Ricky Mendenhall, who's a junior, and a Mark Muhart.
Well, then you have Dustin Pichotti that has a chance to be a superb player before his career is over, and his career hasn't started as a true freshman.
They load up that far side. Picked off. Shamar Finney. And a late flag in on that pile, but Finney read Turman like a book, to use one of the great cliches in college football. May I?
Well, it worked. It was exactly right, because he did read the eyes of the quarterback.
Face mask. Well, Dean, one thing in this game, in this quarter at least, you know that Penn State's had some opportunities. The
yes,
fumble,
they have.
and also now the pick.
Yes, they have.
Face mask on the return. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Finney, the linebacker, will drop into coverage. There he is right there. He's reading the eyes of the quarterback, and that's a force. That is a forced ball. Shouldn't have gone there. Finney makes the play on it. And I guarantee you, when that ball was released by Turman, he knew that it shouldn't have happened.
New quarterback.
He's upset about it.
Yeah, Turman's upset through the pick. His first, and now Seneca checks in. They benched Rashard Casey. They throw to Saramelli, the fullback, down inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. How about this?
Well, you know, I asked about this before the game and just wondered if it was a possibility, and the answer was basically no. I mean, it would have to take Rashard just not getting it done. And even though Rashard Casey's made a few plays today, the scoreboard reads 0. And so that's why you see Seneca in the ball game. And this guy has a nice arm, and the staff felt coming out of the fall practices that if Rashard Casey couldn't go for whatever reason, this guy could win games for them.
Casey was 10 of 18 for just 83 yards when Paterno yanks him here late third quarter. So Seneca under center from the eye. Handoff to Johnson off the left side. Robinson knocked him down.
You know, I guarantee you it's a great situation for a quarterback to come into. Sometimes a quarterback goes into tough situations where, you know, you have 80 yards to go or you're backed up on your own end zone. But right now, Penn State they feel the urgency to get the ball in the end zone. They are on the move, they are aggressive, and they got the ball at the 40-yard line. Now it's a big play for Seneca to make a good decision.
You saw his numbers, 100 yards, 12 of 24. So he's seen some playing time in this season. Throw is in traffic, and boy, some heads were ducking out of the way. Incomplete. A lot of traffic and a dangerous throw. Shante Spencer in the area,
well,
along with Beinecke.
Pardon me, you noticed that number 25, Ramon Walker, was about to take the head off of, I believe it was Drummond. Drummond saw it coming, ducked the head. The ball was high anyway. That's called respect. You got to make plays, though. That's the difference in winning games and not winning games. We talked to Coach Paterno about it yesterday. As the Nittany Lions go for a 51-yarder, you have to make that throw, make that play.
Kimball will try it from 50 yards. High snap. Placement down. Kick is away. Long enough, but wide right.
2 bad snaps in a row have hurt Penn State. Punt, and they're on the field goal.
Pittsburgh still pitching the shutout. Well, here's a look at our Exxon scoring recap. Second quarter, it was Lotz from 29 yards out to give Pittsburgh a 3-0 lead. Third quarter, Rutherford, that third-string quarterback, comes in, makes the reception, 62 yards. They missed the 2-point conversion, 9-0, and that's how we got here.
Eric Rickenbach, the snapper on this. It's a high snap, doesn't help the execution, and really throws the timing completely off. The holder does a nice job in getting it there, Matt Seneca. But on the punt, the previous series, Bob Jones had a high snap, and that cost them field goal yardage at that time.
Turman stays in, handoff Barlow. Picks up 3, maybe 4 to the 37. Kirpakis makes the tackle. Kirpakis, one of the more active defensive frontmen for Penn State. Kind of quiet today. Number 37.
Yeah, and he wants a big game because, you know, he's from right around the corner. And, he said that this is exactly the way he would have wanted to end the series with Pittsburgh, but this isn't the way he wants to go out.
Rutherford now under center. He's caught that 62-yard pass coming out of motion from the slot. Simple straight ahead handoff, and it's a polite tackle by Adams. Anthony Adams, number 98. Lettered as a freshman, a big sophomore at 289 pounds out of Detroit, Michigan. You know, Barlow starting to close in on the 100-yard game. He's 10 carries for 73 yards for Pitt.
Well, Pitt felt coming in that the one thing they had to do offensively is to run the football. And they've done that. 3rd down and 3. Coming up on the 1-minute mark. They're here in the third quarter. Pittsburgh by 9.
Rutherford. Option, breaks a tackle. And first down. Wow. 45-yard line. He was stopped not once but twice. Boyd and Graham finally stopped him, but not before another Pitt first down.
You know what that tells me is that this freshman, not a true freshman, a redshirt freshman, is very down and distance aware. That's one thing as a quarterback. You have to always know exactly where you are in the huddle on your 3rd down play. You tell your team, hey guys, we got 3rd and 3. Let's get this first down. Let's be aware of where the marker is. And that time, instead of extending the play out to the line of scrimmage, he cuts back up inside for a big first down.
Rutherford out. Turman back in. Turman pedals, stays in the pocket, goes sideline, and will hop and skip. Incomplete. Latif Grimm was the intended receiver. Tomorrow here on CBS, the National Football League. It's original action. Buffalo at New York Jets. How about Denver at Oakland, huh? San Diego at Kansas City. It all begins with the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines. Jim Nantz and the guys, and live from 5th Avenue in New York City, that outside studio. We got to make it up there and give the guys some trouble. Just kind of jump up and down behind them.
That's good. We have a little nice outside action here today. What a wonderful day for a football game.
No, very cool for mid-September. Barlow, little draw play, 2 yards. He'll pop to the 47, maybe the 48-yard line.
Hey, what do you think the Penn State defensive players are thinking right now? You know, they just can't get any points from their offense. They couldn't the first 2 weeks. And, you know, they have great coaches.
On a back-to-back series, they came up with the fumble recovery. Then they got the interception and a nice read by Shamar Finney. But yet, as you mentioned, Penn State unable to get things going on offense.
Well, I've seen teams have dissension when you start losing and when one of either the offense or the defense doesn't do its part. So far, that hasn't been an issue.
Final seconds ticking down as Rutherford checks back in for Turman. Turman will take the hat off as the third quarter comes to an end. We played 3 quarters. The Pitt Panthers leading Penn State 9-0. We'll return to Three River Stadium right after this message and a word from your local stations.
The automotive world is hyped for the V6 Grand Vitara from Suzuki. Open Road says it's eye-popping. Automobile Magazine raves there's more sport in this sport utility. And Road and Track says it's powerful enough to kick sand in the face of every other four-door in its class. The Suzuki V6 Grand Vitara. Come in and see why Motor Trend says it must be on your shopping list. Get 0.9% APR financing on all V6 Grand Vitaras with approved credit at your local Suzuki dealer.
Dr. Roger Maxfield, is ready for a professional money manager. The kind he never thought would handle individual portfolios. One of the best is a few feet away. If only the two could mate. See how we earn it. Solomon Smith Barney.
Under center, the third stringer for the Pitt Panthers. 2 wide outs to the far side. 3rd down and 7. Rutherford tucks and runs, chased down from behind. Look at the speed. Blows by the Penn State secondary to the 40-yard line. Well, he picked it up and get it up past the 50 down to the 41-yard line.
Well, just like a while ago when Penn State knew that Pitt knew that Penn State was coming at them straight ahead. You know, with Rutherford, he's coming around the corner. Yet his speed and his athletic ability is able to outmaneuver, and then that's a pretty physical blow from the quarterback there. You get around the corner, then you go north-south, you find that first down marker, and he was successful.
So Rutherford out, Turman back in. Rutherford 4 carries on the day for 29 yards and had that 1 catch for 62 yards in the touchdown. Barlow pops right off the right side up to the 36-yard line. Now, former Pittsburgh All-American Marshall Goldberg captured the spirit of Pitt Stadium during Pittsburgh's 37-27 win over Notre Dame last November 13th at Old Pitt Stadium. And here it is. That spirit box will be reopened when the Panthers debut in their new stadium in 2001, North Shore Stadium, and that's our U.S. Army heritage. I'll tell you, the way things are going today, don't be surprised if that lock breaks and the spirit pops right out.
Well, there is spirit in the stadium.
Oh,
right
yeah.
now. There's a lot of Penn State fans here. There's not much spirit there, but there is with the Pittsburgh fans. This place was electric this morning. It's a shame that this rivalry has to have a break in it. Who knows if it'll ever be put back in.
Second down and 6. Not much. Barlow stopped for an update on Florida, Tennessee. Back to New York, and here's Tim Brando.
Craig, everything was going so well for A.J. Suggs, and Tennessee was controlling the game, and then all of a sudden, out pattern for decision. Lito Shepherd does the Lito shuffle into the end zone, and it's Gators 17-12 in the 3rd quarter. Back to Craig and Dean in Pittsburgh.
I like the Lito shuffle. See, Brando, I hope Brando doesn't dance to that, you know?
I have a feeling he's the kind of guy who would. Florida's tough if they get the lead there. I think they have the psychological advantage in that matchup.
Turman, good protection, throws, picked off and dropped. Boy, a great read by Boyd, the free safety. Turman hung that ball up. You're a former quarterback, just a half second too long.
Yeah, I think it was a good break on the ball, but I think your second statement is more to the point. I think you've got to let go of this ball a little bit quicker. As you get Bryant, who is open on an out route, that ball hangs just a little bit, and that's a pretty long pass. From where he was to where he actually threw the ball was about a 50-yard ball, but you've got to line that thing as best you can, and he just didn't get it there quickly.
That brings up 4th down, and now Jay Junko in. He'll punt to Rod Perry, who stands at his own 10-yard line. High hanger. Ball in play, and they're going to drop it around the 4-yard line. Boy, Penn State gave up on it, and Pittsburgh continued to run down on punt coverage, and Penn State's going to be pinned down inside their own 5-yard line. Torrey Cox and Ferguson on special teams. Nice job. 9-0 Pittsburgh.
His brother was murdered. I think he was taken out. And somewhere... Let it go. No, I don't think so. Some way... Jack, what do you say, Jack? Someone is going to pay. Revenge doesn't work. Sure it does. Sylvester Stallone.
You've been a pretty bad guy, Mr. Carter.
You haven't seen bad yet. Get Carter. Rated R. Starts Friday, October 6th at a theater near you.
Policeman, fireman, the mayor of my town. The dude's hanging off of the paper truck. Mr. Chang, down at the local deli, sells me morning coffee, wishes me good luck. This is for the people in my neighborhood. They help me through the day and make me feel good. This spot's for you. And you and you and you. This spot's for you.
Tonight, we had the perfect meal for us. The Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl. You pick any of their special pastas, and you get all the free refills you want. Plus all the salad and breadsticks for $7.95. Good thing I was born hungry. The Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
This weekend, Enterprise Rent-A-Car announces special low rates from just $9.99 a day. Friday till Monday from just $9.99 a day. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Get a sneak peek at CBS's new fall season. Stop by a participating Blockbuster for a free preview tape and get a first look at what's happening this fall.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
Sponsored by America Online.
13 left, fourth quarter here. Pittsburgh up on Penn State by 9. Craig Bolerjack and Dean Blevins. Let me ask you this. You take away the 67 points last week against Louisiana Tech. Penn State's offense in the first two games scored 11 points. Offensively, what do you see? What's wrong?
Joe Paterno said it best yesterday. We said, Coach, what's up? How good are you? He says, I don't know how good we are. You know, he said, just because we put on a Penn State uniform doesn't make us good.
Rashard Casey, after setting out a couple of plays, returns and throws incomplete. He wanted his tight end, Tony Stewart. A lot of talk about Rashard Casey and Joe Paterno. Let me just go over this. Rashard Casey, assault charged by an off-duty police officer in Casey's hometown, Hoboken, New Jersey. The alleged incident occurred back May 14th. Some observing the case have called it racially motivated. Of course, Rashard, African-American. The officer, Patrick Simmons, is white. I'll continue after this play as the handoff goes off the right side of the 9-yard line. And don't forget, tomorrow at halftime of our NFL game coverage, Jim Nantz, Mike Ditka, a former Pitt player himself, Jerry Glanville, bring you all the scores and highlights on the NASDAQ.com halftime report. Players and coaches, though, with Rashard. Dean, do not blame the Lions' first two losses of the season to Casey's off-field problems. Paterno supports Casey, but his critics say no. There's a lot of evidence he should be suspended until the case goes to court. Paterno says no, he is allowed due process.
Give you my response after this one.
Third down and a long 5. 2 seconds on that play clock. Casey goes up top. John Robinson.
Robinson has perfect coverage. This ball is underthrown, and troubles or no troubles off the field. He has troubles on the field right now, Rashard Casey.
To your body, it's a luxury car. To the elements, it's an SUV. To your peace of mind, it's a Volvo. The new all-wheel drive cross-country.
My brother's son said he had an idea that would make us rich.
That funny-looking kid said that.
Said we can use the internet.
The internet? We ain't selling books, we're selling feed, and we already sell every ranch in the county.
Harlan, you ever been outside the county? Well?
Give me a minute, I'm thinking.
All right, who can solve this? Mr. Montez.
Last Saturday in the Army Reserve, I figured out how to link up 23 Bradleys, 40 tanks, 60 Humvees, 4 medevac units, and 7,000 troops on the move. On Monday, class was no sweat.
Not bad, Mr. Montez.
As little as 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year. Army Reserve.
The Home Depot College Football on CBS is sponsored by Volvo, IBM, the United States Army, and by Solomon Smith Barney.
Looking downtown, Pittsburgh, Joe Paterno still, as you saw, trying to give his team some inspiration, down 9. It's been a rocky 2000 for Joe Pa. Joe Paterno, a win today would have tied him with Pop Warner.
Former Pitt coach. This is a situation where this team has gone for the jugular in the past quickly after a turnover, but with Rutherford it will be a different type of jugular play.
That second pick thrown on the season by Rashard Casey starts Pittsburgh at their own 41, and Rutherford is knocked down. Here's Joe Paterno, and who's he chasing? Some great names in Division I. Of course, the great Bear Bryant, 323 victories. Pop Warner at 319. Joe Paterno just one win away from tying Pop. Alonzo Stagg at 314. And Bobby Bowden, active, of course, at Florida State at 306.
Bobby Bowden's winning a lot of football games. Joe's going to have to keep his eye on his rearview mirror.
Second down at 12. Pitt lines up in that I formation. Long snap count. Rutherford the pitch. Barlow breaks a tackle out of feet at the 30. Down to the 25-yard line. Oh, what a run and power by Barlow. You talked about the NFL scouts drooling. Right there, there's a guy, a little Jamal Anderson look right there to me.
Well, I think that you're right on Barlow having an outstanding game, but as Boyd is down, I think this is very sloppy tackling on Penn State's part. This play was not well defended from the beginning. Great block once again by Polite, but look at these arm tackles. He ran through 3 arm tackles, and then once contact was established by Zhu, he was able to drag him for another 5.
As they look at Boyd, let's go back to New York for an update on Florida and Tennessee.
Craig, you and Dean were talking about power backs. How about Travis Henry? Up and in. The ball had crossed the plane. Then they go for 2 to the Volunteers, and they get it with only 9 Florida Gators on the field defensively. 20-17, still in the 3rd.
What a game.
Florida has good defense, but I don't think they can do it with 9 guys.
No.
You know what? That was a sign there of sloppy tackling, which I've not seen this whole season from this club. I wonder if the frustration's hitting them. That offensively, guys, we just can't get anything done.
Barlow, you saw his numbers nearing 100 yards on the ground, 14 carries for 95. We'll get the call again, pops up the middle, and just takes a couple of 3 white jerseys with him down to the 21. Now he's got 4 more. He's got 15 carries now for 99 yards.
A touchdown here basically puts this game, the way Penn State's been playing offense, would basically put it out of reach. A field goal is a different story. I mean, you're 2 touchdowns behind then, because you'd be sitting at 12-0.
Second down and 6. Under 10.5 minutes, and Walt Harris looks on with his game plan in hand. Barlow again spins out a tackle, picks up what was lost yardage back to the 20. Well, Sunday on 60 Minutes, if you want to know what's up with the beautiful people, read Liz Smith. Now, if you want to know what's up with Liz Smith, watch this Sunday's 60 Minutes right here on CBS. Sounds a little juicy to me.
Yeah, it does. It does. Walt Harris is a wide open coach. But you know what? When you're in this situation, you want to keep the clock running. Turman's in the huddle saying, guys, hold on to the football. No penalties, but more importantly, hold on to the football. It'll be hard for us to lose the game if you don't have a turnover.
Barlow now officially at 100 yards. 16 carries, and he's hit the century mark. He's at the tailback spot, gets the carry. Little shuttle step, and he'll lose a couple. So he's back under 198. Bob Jones, the left end, chased him down.
But you don't care. I mean, it's under 9 minutes now on the clock. You saw the conservative call. You're going to give your field goal kicker an opportunity at that angle. And Barlow was trying to cut that thing back up north and south, where otherwise I think he would have bounced it on outside and tried to get around the corner.
Lots on the season. You see 6 for 6, his longest of 36 yards, and he hit a 29-yarder to finally get Pittsburgh on the board in the second quarter.
Where's LaVarr Arrington? They need him. He got one last year in this game, didn't he?
You're right. Brought happiness to Happy Valley. 39-yard attempt. Locks the kick of the way. And good. 39-yarder. A pair of field goals by Nick Lotz. And Pittsburgh rolls.
Peter Friedman gets top-notch advice in everything he does. So why doesn't he get top-notch advice when he invests online? Simple. He doesn't know he can. See how we earn it. Solomon Smith Barney.
To your body, it's a luxury car. To the elements, it's an SUV. To your peace of mind, it's a Volvo. The new all-wheel drive cross-country.
Survivor. BB wants to be the boss.
We got a lot of lazy people.
But will the younger generation let him?
We can't get burned out. I'm not burned out.
Go back to the island. CBS Tonight.
Pittsburgh leading Penn State 12-0. Dean, you talked about that Superman effort last year. LaVarr Arrington, let's set you up. 52-yard field goal by Nick Lotz with just 4 seconds left. And now there's the field goal. And here we go. This is last year. Superman LaVarr jumps and blocks the 52-yard attempt, and that ended Pittsburgh's chance to force overtime. And Penn State runs off with a 20-17 lead. So you saw Lotz today with a pair, and then last year, oh, how things change.
Well, great players make big plays. That's what Penn State is not having go their way now. They're not making the big plays. Tom Bradley, by the way, had LaVarr Arrington in his office the other day on Tuesday, and LaVarr said, "Do you miss me?"
I think they know the answer.
I think Tom said, "Yeah, I miss you," and Courtney and Brandon and 6 others.
Starters off that defense from a year ago. Watson and Johnson back to receive the kick from Watts. Takes it at the 8-yard line. Johnson, open running room, flags are down, breaks the tackle to the 47. Nice return, but a flag, 2 flags down. One at the 16, the other at the 25. Here's the call. Bill Lamagna.
Holding on the return. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Well, next Saturday, supersized sensation Jared Lorenz sparks Kentucky against the Florida Gators, or Santana Moss and the Miami Hurricanes battle the West Virginia Mountaineers. It all starts with college football today. For those two.
Look at them, looking sweet.
All dressed up. Randall and Tillman. I'd say they can't dress up those Oklahoma players, can't they? Huh?
Yeah, we get off our thongs and tank tops occasionally.
Yeah. Less than 8.5 to go. Penn State with a big hill to climb. The way they played, they're down 12. Casey connects at the 30 to the 31, and that is a nice grab by Drummond, who you can see on that right knee has a brace, sprained the MCL on the first play of the kickoff classic against USC. We talked to him on Wednesday of this week and said, no problem, I'm back. I feel good, about 90%. He was hoping to gain a few percentage points by today, and still you look like you wonder, though, knee injuries, as you know, tough to mentally overcome those as you look at an injured Pitt player, number 27.
Well, anytime you hear a player say he's 90%, I don't care who you are, you're not back.
Right.
You know, in this game, You can't be 90% and be a difference maker.
Drummond in the first half as Ferguson gets some help coming off the field. He's had a fine afternoon. Drummond first half 6 receptions for 33 yards. Drummond just unheard from. 1 reception for 17 here in this half.
Well, and they wanted to get him 12 to 15 touches this afternoon, and they haven't done that. I don't want to overemphasize how big a series this is for Penn State, but it is huge.
First down from the 33-yard line. Rashard Casey pumps, wants the deep ball, throws it up for grabs. It was picked and then dropped. Shante Spencer, the true freshman out of Pittsburgh, had it in his hands. Rashard 11 of 22, Dean, 100 yards. And
he's had a couple of bad passes, had the interception, but he's also had a couple of big drops. The first 3 games, look, 2 sacks, 5 sacks, the numbers were bad right there. But then in the last game, the numbers go up. Sacks are still there, but he had a good running game to balance what he was doing. This is not all Rashard Casey's fault.
Second down, Casey, 3-step drop, throws out of the backfield and hits McCoo. Steps out of bounds at the 41. Paco giving chase, and that stops the clock, and that's going to be a very important factor here for Penn State with 7:53 remaining and down 12. Last time, Dean, Penn State shutout, you go back to 1998. The Wolverines of Michigan got them 27-0.
Well, that was no fun, but it surely isn't fun to come into Pittsburgh, where you have more alums in this county than any county in America, and get shut out here.
Third down and short. Upton in motion, handoff. Boy, it's going to be close. They gave it to Jefferson, who is the bull. Gonzalez and Hayes teamed up to make the tackle.
Well, I don't think they have a choice. I mean, you're down to a little over 7.5 to go. If it's 4th down here, the clock will resume once the official resets the ball. So the snap would come at 7:15. I think you don't have to worry about it. It's first down. Hey, by the way, you mentioned Rashard Casey's situation a while ago, and my quick take on it is that I think you're innocent until proven guilty instead of the opposite. I think Joe Paterno deserves the benefit of the doubt for all the things that he has done throughout his career. And if your quarterback convinces you that he is innocent, then you have to go with that.
Paterno's taken much criticism, but he's also got been given much support as Casey races to the sideline, steps out of bounds at the 45. He'll pick up 2, but again stops the clock with 7:17 left.
Well, and I'm not saying that what all has surrounded that situation has not hurt Rashard Casey's play. I mean, he's not played up to his standards this year, and it has had an obvious effect. But in terms of that decision, I don't have a problem with it, and I have some people who have given me the other side of the story.
You know, we talked to Rashard on Wednesday and other players and Joe Paterno last night, and of course, you know, Paterno, 4 weeks now into the season, he just shakes his head. It's an issue that won't go away. But yet Rashard Casey still claims, no, it is not a factor. We're not making plays. We're dropping footballs. We're not blocking. It's a combination of things. McCoo on the receiving end, close to the first down. Walker makes the hit.
Well, you're seeing a defense tee off on Rashard Casey because they know he has to put it up in the air. Boom, he gets it right there. Ryan Smith, form tackle, and on the other end of the play, Ramon Walker, the outstanding free safety, open field tackle on Eric McCoo. And that's a play where if you're going to make a play, you shake a tackle and you make a big play. The defense wins there.
Drummond and Johnson line up as the wideouts. Penn State 6 of 14 on third down conversions a day. Well, the ball was up for grabs, and Hayes, the strong side backer, nearly with an interception.
Casey did not see the linebacker Hayes, perhaps the best linebacker of this bunch from Pittsburgh, in his drop zone, because that ball very easily could have been intercepted. Game's over if that's the case, and they have to go for 4th here.
4th and 2. 6:29 left, and Penn State down 12. The Nittany Lions 1 of 1 today on 4th down tries. Casey wants to throw. Blitz package, and down he goes. Oh, what a gutty call by Penn State's defensive coordinator, Tom Bradley. Check that. Pittsburgh's D coordinator, Paul Rhodes, his first year at Pitt.
Well, you see the pressure come from up top. Pittsburgh's philosophy is pressure, pressure, pressure. There's not a man there. That's a blown assignment. There's a blown assignment on this play. No one on the blitz. There's no one there to pick him up. Now, if he picks that up early enough, he goes to his hot read, but totally unsuccessful by Penn State because of the aggression defensively.
Barlow again. You know, he stopped once and again, spinning. Pettigrew right there to finally bring him down at the 36. Well, tonight on CBS, we're shaking up the Big Brother house in ways you can't imagine. As the pressure rises, anything can happen on a live edition of Big Brother. Then Survivor has gone back to the island. Here's your chance to catch the television phenomenon of the year, plus Chuck Norris and Walker, Texas Ranger. Great night on CBS. Don't miss it.
Penn State defense playing on pride right now.
Timeout, Thurman. So John Turman will walk his way to Walt Harris, and we'll take a break. Pitt by 12.
The Volvo C70, convertible, seats 4, safely.
Hey guys, check this out.
Wow. How do you think it got here?
I don't know. What do you think we should do with it?
We can't leave it here. Oh, is it dead? I don't know. See if it's cold. Go on. Huh? It's cold!
Getting lucky? Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
Hey guys, I think I see a foosball table over here.
I'm from AXA Advisors.
C, AXA Advisors. I work with you.
One-on-one.
But I'm not alone.
Thousands of talented people.
Billions in assets.
Back me up.
If I don't know an answer
about estate planning, I do. If I need an expert in asset allocation,
in deferred compensation,
I help.
AXA Advisors.
One-on-one.
This great team
can help you grow.
Succeed.
AXA Advisors, building futures.
The NFL today examines Buffalo's imposing defense and checks in with the man driving Denver's offense, quarterback Brian Greasy, Sunday on CBS.
Pittsburgh leading Penn State 12-0, and here's our CBS Sports Line stat of the game. Pittsburgh more than doubling Penn State's output in total yards, 355 to 174. For complete college football coverage, go to cbs.sportsline.com.
Well, Penn State under 100 yards after that first half. They started off the third quarter with an impressive drive. Then they couldn't get the points, and ever since then their offense has done nothing, and they are on pace again to be under 200 yards, which is unbelievable.
Barlow on 2nd and 5. Bulls his way to the 32. I'll bring up 3rd down and 1. Jimmy Kennedy, the right tackle for Penn State, in on the stop. Kennedy's name's been called plenty today.
Well, Kennedy's a terrific player. I mean, up front they have some good athletes, and Kennedy is the best of all of them. He's a guy that is now at 320 pounds. Yeah. He's lost a bunch, but he is an active, physical, fit player. And the ball's going to be coming at him. I think you're going to see Pittsburgh run that clock down. It's at 12 right now. You'll see Turman take it down to 2 before the snap has gotten to him, and you'll see a conservative run.
3 on the play clock, 2 on the play clock. They're going to pitch to Barlow off the right side. Squeezes a couple of yards. Gatton, the outside backer, able to make the tackle. And we talked to Walt Harris and Joe Paterno. On program, stumbling a little bit right now, and he has great tradition. You know, Penn State, we all know the success of Paterno. Walt Harris building. How big How big is this game today?
Oh, huge. I think in recent memory there hasn't been, if Pitt goes on to win, a bigger win for them, particularly right now in this guy's timing here. I talked to the athletic director at halftime, and just visiting with him after giving a new contract to the head coach. He is so comfortable with where they are that this is a win that gets them not over the top because they're not there yet, but it gives them an advantage in recruiting, and with the new facilities coming, you can't describe how big it is.
You can see just short of the first down. Going back to the athletic director of Pittsburgh, Steve Peterson. You know, everyone we've talked to here in Pittsburgh, his attitude, he came in and changed it. They used to talk here in Pitt, we can't. And Steve Peterson changed that to, and his motto is we can.
Well, and I think one of the things that he did that was one of the wisest decisions he's made is to give the extension for 7 years to his head coach, because there are people saying that, yeah, you're winning a little bit, Walt, but not enough. Are you going to be the guy to get us over the hump? And that sent a statement to not only his football team, but to recruits and fans that he's saying Walt Harris is the man. And Walt Harris seems to be the man today. If Penn State has a chance, they've got to stop them here.
Well, Barlow has been their strong back today out of that tailback spot. Polite had a nice first half. Number 32, 4th and inches from the eye. Quarterback keeper Turman to the 30 and a first down. You know, Dean, you talked about the new facilities. Well, the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center Sports Performance Complex opened in August. It's got lockers commemorating past great players. You see Sept, Dan Marino, and of course our good buddy Mike Ditka. Also Hall of Fame room, state-of-the-art locker room. They've got a tremendous indoor practice facility with a hybrid artificial turf, and of course there's that weight room that's going to make players bigger, faster, stronger.
Well, hanging in that room you just saw, there was a banner of Penn State reminding them of this game. They've had it circled on their calendar, just as Penn State has, and they have outplayed the Nittany Lions today.
Barlow, no gain.
And there's that banner in the weight room. And they have been thinking that. There was no question in their minds about how big that game was. They have come to play today.
There's a timeout. Pittsburgh leading Penn State by 12.
First and goal for Miami. So there he goes. He is at the guard. Touchdown, Miami.
Here's Walker. Walker left side. Walker. Tom Walker will score. West Virginia has done it.
Here's the snap. The kick is away. It is good. Boston College wins.
Last play of the ball game to the tight end Brominski. He got it down. Boston again.
This kick is in the air. It is good. It is good. One of the greatest wins ever.
Let that celebration begin.
Can you please tell me a bedtime story?
Okay, son, let's see. It was 1982, Cal versus Stanford. There were 4 seconds to go, and Stanford was ahead 20-19. The Stanford band rushed onto the field. This is known as the play. Let's turn out the lights. It's time for bed.
3:48 remaining. Penn State in trouble, and one of America's most enduring corporate images, the Goodyear blimp, is floating overhead, providing our aerial views for today's game. The Spirit of Goodyear, one of 7 airships in the Goodyear blimp fleet, stopping by today. A little cloudy this morning. Got some rain the last couple of days, but the blimp able to fly over 3 rivers today. 2nd down and 10. Truman pedals back and throws up and caught. Grimm reaches out to the 7. Bao Ju made the tackle. Latif Grimm, he's on that Biletnikoff watch list. Goes up. 1st down, goal at the 7.
That play exemplifies the mentality of Walt Harris. One-on-one, Grimm wins against that secondary, against that coverage, that's what he doesn't have to check to. That's what they call determined, knows he has this game going the way he wants. But that's what Walt Harris is about. It's when you get a chance, go for the jugular. All you tell Turman on the sideline is don't throw an interception. You know, you can throw that, but don't throw an interception.
Then you have to appreciate being a former quarterback. You saw the coolness right there of Turman, knowing the job still to be done. Up by 12, still pushing with 3:20 left on the clock. Little pitch back to Barlow. He's in trouble and taken down. And this time, Jew made a nice read and came out from his right corner spot to make the stop.
Well,
clock will run.
Pardon me. He has improved on his deep ball a lot, and I think that his confidence has really grown. He was a real calm guy when we visited the other day. Priestley, you know, is a little bit more, has a little more energy. Maybe is a little more up and down, but Turman is a steadying force, and he did exactly what the Penn State staff, or excuse me, the Pittsburgh staff wanted to happen today, for him to separate himself and become the clear starter.
You know, Priestley transferred out of Ohio State. He was originally recruited by Walt Harris.
Right.
And here he is at Pittsburgh, but still trying to find his way into the starting lineup. Barlow stacked up and dropped at the 15. He'll lose a couple. You know, getting back to Priestley, I was just going to say, in his defense, as you look there at number 11, we talked to him. He's more of the freelance type of guy. He told us he was in the zone so much last year, but he's had some shoulder surgery in the offseason and has not been able to regain the zone.
Well, and I think more importantly for him, he's got his act together. You know, we asked him, you know, you could be in an uncomfortable position. He said, you know, when I left Ohio State, I felt like I was a failure. It just didn't work out. And he says, now I could not be happier. And he said, regardless of what happens with the quarterback situation, I'm at peace with it. And give him credit. Well, you know, football's important, but not the most important thing in the world.
Well, next Saturday, supersized sensation Jared Lorenz sparks Kentucky against the Florida Gators. Or you're going to see Santana Moss and the Miami Hurricanes battling the West Virginia Mountaineers. This all starts with college football today, and that's next week right here on CBS.
That Lorenzen is a guy, I think, I haven't seen him yet. I've heard about him. I think he's 6'7". And you know how Mummy made a quarterback change after a great year last year with his starter. So he must be good.
Good crowd, excellent crowd on hand today at Three Rivers Stadium. As we've mentioned, next year we just move about 200 yards. And Pittsburgh, the Panthers, and the Steelers will share the same facility. Rutherford back in, and Turman out, who's had 11 of 18 for 272 yards, a pick and a touchdown, and he hit 6 different receivers in this game.
Makes all the sense in the world. You get a guy in here who you want to run the ball, keep it in bounds. He's a stronger runner. Right here,
Rutherford dives out to the 11-yard line, trying to reach out. Well, you know, defensively, though, what's Penn State thinking? They know when Rutherford walks on this field, he's not going to throw the football. They're going to run option.
Right now, I don't know what they're thinking. I think they're thinking that they need to have a lot of help on the other side of the football. And, you know, I came from an option school, an option team that, you know, even though teams knew that we were going to run the football, there were a lot of them in there for quite a while that couldn't stop us. If your guys are better than their guys, you can be successful.
Today's player of the game, presented by Solomon Smith Barney, is Kevin Barlow, running back for Pittsburgh. 23 carries, 99 yards. And watch in December when Solomon Smith Barney presents the CBS Sports College Football Player of the Year Award Show. Kevin Barlow wins it today.
I think he had his coming out party.
Yeah, he did. You know, and we talked to Barlow. We met him on the football field Thursday night, and he's kind of gone through that Eddie George workout mode where he's more nutritional. I guess he's taking care of nutrition. He's working the weights. He's watching how he runs. And boy, today I saw a different Barlow than what we saw on tape as we watched the Bowling Green game on Thursday.
Yeah, he didn't seem to have the acceleration that he's had today. And, you know, it's amazing when guys go into their senior year how sometimes they become much better and much more serious about things because he sees the green in the NFL as a possibility. There's something about money dangling out there that gets you in the weight room a little more often than otherwise.
Turman back in, backside blitz coming. He reads it and throws incomplete. Lateef Grimm in the end zone. And boy, he took a hard shot, and Turman slow coming up off the ground. There's a timeout coming up on the 2-minute mark. We'll be back. To your left, that should be completed by the year 2001, and to your right, where we are today, Three Rivers Stadium. And you know what? We were at Old Pitt Stadium last year when they knocked off Notre Dame. They tore that field up pretty good, and they've got the police and the ponies ready to watch over Three Rivers today. Casey throws incomplete. Now this is the 96th meeting. 1893 was the first. Dean, it's a shame that they don't have either one on the schedule because of just well, it's scheduling conflicts. It's big money football. But the last time Pitt beat Penn State, 1988, 14-7.
Well, the scheduling is, from what I hear, is that Penn State wants to have 2 for 1. They want to get people up there because of financial reasons, and they expect Pittsburgh to come up and play them twice and come down here and play them once. And I think Pittsburgh's statement both on and off the field is not going to do it.
El McCoo gingerly kind of reached down for that low pass, incomplete. Heard a few Penn State fans maybe giving a little ooh and then maybe a few ahs. You look at miscues today, and 5 sacks. They turned it over twice and whistled 6 times for penalties for 51 yards.
Well, and what the stats didn't show is big plays. There were not many big plays by Penn State today.
Casey to the sideline. Hits his tight end Stewart.
They've got to get him more in the offense. I mean, this guy is too good to ignore.
Oh, he's 6'5", around 260, runs well, blocks well. He came in as a top receiver for Penn State with 9 catches.
Well, he ran away from defensive back in that USC game on a vertical route that showed me all I needed to see. I've seen him play throughout his career, but when I saw the speed that he possessed, that was enough, because with his blocking and receiving, as you mentioned, he's special. Penn State all day has 3 plays of 15 yards or more.
That pretty much
it's great defense.
Yeah.
And bad offense.
4th down and 1. First down and more by McCoo. Dean, we look at what remains for Penn State. Wow. Ohio State.
Tough.
Purdue.
Tough.
Minnesota.
On the road.
Illinois.
Good.
Indiana. And on it goes. They go to the tight end once again. Stewart. First down to the 42-yard line. Right now they're in that 2-minute drill.
Isn't it amazing how good the opponent becomes when you're not playing well?
You're rushing 3, dropping back 8. Casey again pedals back down 12, looking for something. Incomplete, or no, they're going to give it to him. I thought he bobbled that ball with no possession, but it's a first down at the 44-yard line.
One of the better catches that Penn State has had all season long. They really dropped some balls.
Tony Johnson, number 11. Now Casey back to the air and threw behind Bryant Johnson. Incomplete, stops the clock, 1:18 left. Then getting back to what Penn State and Paterno have to look at. We talked about Indiana, then it's Iowa. You go at Michigan, right now ranked number 3, and then finish up with 20th ranked Michigan State.
If they don't get their act together offensively, I don't know how many games they can win from here on out. And Joe's pursuit, Coach Paterno's pursuit of the record, I don't think he'll get close. They have the potential. I mean, you don't go from a team a year ago that had a chance talking national championship to not winning any types of games, but they've got to get it together offensively.
Casey to Drummond. Well, he was chopped down at the 40, picked up about 3, maybe 4 yards. You can see some emotion pouring out of him. Ferguson was around the ball.
Good look at Walt Harris. You know, this guy is he's not a salesman. He's not a Newt Rockney, but the players believe in him. And he's very honest. He's very approachable.
They send a blitz on Lewis, and he throws quickly, incomplete out to McCoo.
And I think maybe believability, for players to believe a coach and believe in him, is more important than anything else. And they do believe in this guy. And today, after today, they'll believe in him even more.
Well, we talked to Walt Harris. You know, he was confident, but yet, you know, very non-committal about where this team was, knowing that they were close. And today, taking advantage of some opportunities, a couple of field goals, big play by the redshirt freshman, blocked down, batted down, and that will bring the ball back to Pittsburgh. With 49 seconds remaining.
And what that will do is ensure a shutout, and that's why the defense for Pittsburgh was so excited, and the crowd was as well, because they have had an outstanding day defensively. So we've not wanted to take anything away from the Pittsburgh defense.
You know, and Dean, looking down at the shutouts under Paterno and in his long tenure of 35 years, only been shut out in 6 games. Twice in 66, once in 72 by Oklahoma, by Alabama in 84, Pittsburgh in 87, 10-0, and then Michigan back in 98, 27-0. This will be Pittsburgh's first 3-0 start since 1991, and they opened up that year 5-0.
Pittsburgh's looking to break into that top 25. I think they're a top 25 team.
Final seconds at Three Rivers. To the emotion in this town. I was able to be here for the Notre Dame win. Pitt Stadium, it was knocked down shortly after. Today you come over, you knock off Notre Dame last year, and now today you take on one of your greatest rivals of all time, Penn State, and you pitch the shutout. It's been a very emotional time for Pittsburgh football. And the final play, and coming up, Turman's going to keep that football. And on the shoulders for just a moment was Walt Harris. So for Dean Blevins, this is Craig Buller-Jack saying so long from Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. With a final score, the Pittsburgh Panthers shut the door on Penn State by a final score of 12-0. Right now, let's go back to our New York studios and send you off to Tim Brando. Tim?